And excuse me, and we are live. Hello, people. As you saw from the title, I'm supposed to have a guest tonight. I didn't think to remind them. What's up, MBL? From there, I thought Lance was doing a morning show. Yeah, I used to just go in there and fill it all out, and I guess I just forgot the AM PM thing. Russ actually called me earlier or sent me a text. Excuse me. And man, I've been tracing wires for days in my truck and the inside of it, and I've got all these panels apart. And I was just trying to get it back together today, but I did start putting it back together, but I'm far from being done. But anyway, I just got absorbed with trying to get that done, and then the wife had dinner ready. What's up, Guggen? Then the wife had dinner, so I went and had some warmed up leftover chicken and a tuna salad, and here we are. Hopefully I can get it done tomorrow. I should be able to, but I am so glad I found that broken wire. Good gosh. That thing's been haunting me for days. Actually, it's been haunting me. What's up, Chris? What's up, Troy? For years, but I've just ignored it until right now. I just finally updated my stereo in my truck to Bluetooth. And because of that, I was like, okay, let's address this wire now. But anyhow, so we're supposed to have Daddy Dutch in here. Another person from our chat had asked a question specifically: have I ever had competition barbecue food? And I can't really answer that question honestly that I have had it. I've had food that I feel is, injected and seasoned and everything else and smoked and cooked on a stick burner. But I'm sure they've got other things that they do that I don't here at the house. So I thought I'd ask Troy, not Troy, I saw Troy's name here. Ask Kent what is his opinion, but maybe I need to send him a reminder. Daddy Dutch. Jody P. Jody. Daddy Dutch. Please, responsible young man. I figure I need to send him a reminder. Maybe he forgot that today was daylight, like me too. I woke up, I was coming down the hallway. My wife gets up early, and she goes and does like the bulk grocery purchases. Like goes to the wholesale club and buys a huge pack of toilet paper, paper towels, crackers. We eat a lot of crackers, that kind of stuff. But and her cat food. But she came home and I was coming down the hallway. She says, "You realize it's daylight savings time?" And I looked at her. I was like, "Oh my God, no! I had no idea. I forgot all about it." But what's up, Mike? I hope your health is all right, buddy. I read your comment about postponing your lives for a while. I remember you mentioning back, probably a month back, about you weren't real sure how lives were going to be going for a while, or how much longer they were going to go, pending some doctor's appointments or something like that. But that's all your notification of suspending your lives temporarily. But hope everything's all right, bro. And we'll catch you when you get going live. I'm assuming that means Wednesdays too. Made some good old grilled chicken today. Threw some barbecue sauce on it, and damn, it was good. Even grilled pineapple as a side. Oh yeah. You know you're good. But I think something to do with this weather. Anything in this weather. And Simon's not going to be here too. I forgot about it. I just had to look down at the panel. People in the basement, and there was nobody in the basement. But yeah, treating for congestive heart. No kidding. Yeah, that's a mess. That is taking out probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 family members. Russ is supposed to be here later on, Simon. As far as I know, I didn't hear anything different. I was just getting ready to tell everybody that you had some unexpected guests come in, so that you won't be here tonight. But thanks for popping in. Much appreciated. Everybody, if you will, say a prayer for Mike with M&C Aquatics tonight. Wish him some good health. I'm sure he will appreciate it. Oh, he says I never sent him the link. God, people are so stupid these days. Lance, what are you thinking? Man, I've just been running balls to the wall today. Few days. Coming up, Russ. Pull my hair out. Invite guests. Compose. Russ. You know why? That's when I did that stuff last night. Because I was trying to get it out there as far as copied. As far as Dutch being in the live, and I wanted to start the notification for the live that much earlier. Good gosh. Almost got 40 freaking emails. Well, hi, Rush. You should have it. Oh, you know what? I guess Dutch would like it too. It's too much on my mind. Dutchy. No, not Dutchy. Oh. It's coming, Dutch. God, I hate getting old. I thought I had your email. All right, I'm back. What's up, Russ?
Nut. Let me do something with
Forgot.
them two stripes right there over my face.
All right. Like he has a mind. I do have a mind. I've just been so freaking busy, man.
I don't know what caused that. Something to do with them LED lights above me. They don't do it all the time.
I can't find Dutch's email. I sent it to Facebook. I was positive I had his email. What's up, Salvador?
Yeah, I was kind of waiting to see if you said something about I might be in or not. I'm like I wasn't gonna say nothing if you didn't because I'm like, well, maybe he's just got a special guest tonight, and I don't want
Nah,
to.
well, yeah,
But
Russ. Dutch is supposed to be here, but
yeah,
at
I heard you say
like
that.
2:30 in the morning, I said, you know what? Whatever time it was, you know what? Let me go ahead and post this live because I know I was going to get right back in the truck, tear more than tear out, trace some more of those wires out. Let's see here. I can get.
Did you get it fixed?
I did. I found the broken wire.
Okay, so it
I
was.
sent you. I sent you a.
Yeah, I got it. I looked at it. It made perfect sense to me. It showed a connector that you told me, and then it showed a possible connector that may or may not be in the truck. And then those little figure eight things, those are splices that's hidden in that where they bundle it all up or whatever. But you did find the right wire.
Yeah, it was all the way back at the beginning. And so I showed up at 4 a.m. live. I know Russ sent me a message earlier. Man, I've just been going crazy. This
Was
and
it
this wire has had me. I mean, for I can't jump on the Nightlands, but thank
was it
you.
the yellow wire or the brown wire?
Brown wire. It was
Okay.
brown wire.
Yeah, just some two wires coming right off your outputs. I know it had to be one of them. You said you owned one and it owned good, and the other one you couldn't get no continuity.
Yeah. So this morning, I was trying to think of. I couldn't find my leads with the alligator clips on them,
Yeah.
and so I found them this morning in the other building out back, and so I came in there, unplugged everything, and I ran. So the two prong that fuse panel I was telling you about, where that plug goes into.
Yeah.
So on the other side of that, directly feeds right to the amp or to the radio to the amp, whatever it does. But anyhow, I clipped those two alligator clips on there, and I went on the back speaker. Boom, thing was playing. Couldn't believe it. So I unraveled everything from inside the truck, through the side door jamb, and inside the door. I unraveled everything, and there was no break in the wire. I was like, what in the hell, man? This is just crazy. So I just happened to, and I have like wiggled around like the connections and everything before,
Yeah.
but there was corrosion because it just has those little teeny little pin wire ends. You know, they're little dinky things. Look like something
Right.
small, like that, like a, I don't know, 1/8 inch wide, if that much. Like an 1/8 inch, or probably like 2/16 or a 16th by 16th rather, but dinky little things. And
I think they call that is that a 4.2 millimeter or something like that?
trailer, yeah, trailer spade connector or something. You'll see them a lot in trail lights and stuff.
That stupid cat. My God. Let me mute
But
myself.
and I've always like pushed them in there and like checked around, but I couldn't figure out what it was. So I pulled, you stick something in there straight to release that male end of it out of the plastic housing. I did that, and after I did that, then I could mess around with that wire and that connection fitting.
So
And
it was at the connector.
all the wire inside of that crypt part of it
Yeah.
was just corroded up.
That's very common. That's what I was saying yesterday. I don't care what it is, man. Up if it's up under the dash like that, especially older cars, go to the plug. There's the odds of it being corrosion at a plug is more than it being a broken wire. It could have been
Yeah.
a broken wire, or I was suspecting it could have been because of that door opening and closing over fatiguing a wire, but that ain't real common. But it was a possibility.
Yeah.
Well, good. You got
Good. Yeah, I don't know what it is, how it got in there, but whatever. What's up, Curtis? I'm just glad that it was figured out, man. I was pulling my hair on that. I've got the rear console for the back seat tore out. I've got the top of the console, and it's like a storage and a cup holder and the cups. I've got all that pulled out. I've got all the A pillars pulled out, the trim for them, both left front and rear door panels, the threshold trim, fuse box cover. I mean, I've got everything tore apart, and
That's
I
good in a
just
way. At least you get to kind of know your truck better. You know what I'm saying? Once you
yeah.
tear into them like that.
What's up, Des? So gratefully, I started putting it back together. I was after you sent a message, I never even. I said, "Oh, I got to go fix that," and I got to doing something else, trying to close things
Yeah.
up, and that was it. I
I'll
just was
let you
focused on
know.
getting there.
I wanted to let you know it so it didn't mess you up when you thought you were going live. I didn't know how that would affect it.
Yeah, I
Next
did it
thing
wee hours this morning, thinking Daddy Dutch. If we had him live tonight, then I wanted to get out there, have that much longer of a opportunity for the word to get out that Dutch was going to be
yeah,
on a panel with us, but
right.
looks like he's not going to be able to make it tonight. So maybe we will get him a different night. But what happened is I had one of our viewers had asked a question about whether or not I've ever had true competition barbecue and or true good barbecue, competition barbecue. And I was like, I really haven't, and I was just going to sort of pick Dutch's brain a little bit to see, what, because he does both. He's got the food trailer, he does backyard, but was there, sort of kind of pick his brain to what his feelings are, and then with him cooking both. I know it's injections and heavy seasonings and stuff, but
Yeah,
with
and
him
like we
doing
have
both, maybe he can shed some light on it.
yeah, the whole reason that competition compared to like the way we do it in our backyards is they really pour on the flavor because these judges are only going to take one bite of it and
Right,
it's kind of pop. If
right.
you ate a whole rib, the way they make these things, it's so rich you can't hardly eat it. It's to
Yeah,
me it's just too much.
yeah,
But
yeah. No, I've heard that before, and that exact term, as a matter of fact, it was just
yeah,
that one bite. You have that opportunity for that one bite to win them over. Well, I mean, I've injected stuff and all that, but I'm sure they've got their own mixtures and stuff like that, where they probably have two or three different products in there and creating their own injection juice and stuff. But
yeah. Yeah, and it's not just injections. Like when it comes to ribs and all, I mean, it's like candy when they get through putting all that sweet stuff on top of it.
yeah,
And that's what I was referring to. I've injected for backyard barbecue, like Guggen's saying, mainly
yeah,
just that moisture and stuff like that. It don't really overpower it. You know what I'm saying? I typically don't inject because, I mean, it's a good way of getting seasoning in there, I suppose,
yeah,
thick cut of meat. But like if I'm doing pulled pork or something, once I shred it, then I add more of the rub that I initially put on the outside, kind of season all that thick meat that never was seasoned on the inside. And that's for
yeah.
back barbecue.
I've played with a couple briskets as far as adding flavor to it. I put some beef broth in one of them, and then the other one I cut pockets in and stuffed the pockets with garlic. I've done that before, but as far as like making it, a procedure every time I was to cook a brisket, to inject it, I no, I haven't really done that.
Yeah.
I'm a braiser, man. I like braising stuff to get flavors into a piece of meat. I
Hmm.
love it, like braising. And I always braise first and then smoke because I always felt like smoking and then braising it, you're sort of kind of,
Yeah.
working that flavor out of that meat.
You was talking about going to that other shed and finding that jumper wire with them alligator clips. I got a big roll around toolbox out in my garage, and I got one whole jar or drawer. I'm sorry, did I say jar? Drawer dedicated to nothing but electrical jumpers and things like that. All
Yeah.
kinds of them.
I need to get stocked up with that kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
I knew I had a red one and a black one, and I was like I was going to went to hardware to get alligator clips, and I was going to make my own. but they were out of any wire that was, that I felt like, so 18 and 20 gauge.
Something like that. It's cool. You can order a pack of them things. I mean, it comes, I don't know, maybe 10 to a pack on Amazon, real cheap.
Yeah, I need to do that. But I was going to make another set of leads up, but they were out of anything 18 and 20 gauge. And I was like, I knew I had some. And so I just, I went with a multimeter, and I started, it's got pretty long leads on it.
Yeah.
I started using it, but
yeah.
But I figured that sucker out. But no, I said, all right, Guggen, appreciate you. I sent you a text message with after I got the speaker running and the stereo playing. It's an audio message actually on your phone. And I don't know if it's because it's an Apple and Droid thing that maybe it didn't go through your Apple phone.
What's that?
I sent you an audio text.
I seen it. It didn't say nothing.
Oh, you can't push it? It plays music?
Yeah, I plant fuel. It runs about 9-10 seconds, but it never said nothing.
Yeah, it was just me playing their stereo with the speaker repaired. I wasn't saying anything. I was just playing.
I could barely hear something there. Okay. All right. Cool.
Just let you know.
I didn't reply to it. I thought you did it accidentally or something. I didn't know. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to get that thing. Sometimes she'll do a voice text instead of text if she's driving or something,
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Phosphates maximize juice retention.
Chris, even Lance's audio text don't make sense. Oh, shoot.
Damn. Hating on me. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I couldn't argue with you on that one, Sal, but I sent you a link if you want to pop up here. Talk about your new cook. I'm not going to say anything. Let you share it. And I downsized.
Did I tell you yesterday about that truck?
Yeah,
I don't think I did about the fuel leak.
About Trina filling it up.
Yeah, well, she put $30 worth, which at the price she paid wasn't much more than 10 gallons. Actually, it was less than 10 gallons, but I already had some in there, but it went over the half tank. I had no idea that freaking fuel tank was leaking. I tell you what, I cannot find a tank for that truck. I have looked other than eBay. They want $325 for a used one. I'm like, I already got a used one. I don't want a used one. I've looked high and low. Derek said he knew a place that would have it. So I said, well, look it up because I can't find it online,
Marketplace.
If I can't find it, I'm going to get a fuel cell and mount it in the back of the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't have, I don't know if that's legal in this state. I know that's what a lot of race cars do and stuff, but we don't have state inspections no more. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get one of those pullback things to where it's shaded, and then I'm going to put an inline pump, mount it to the frame. But the biggest trick to that is get it to match what the electronic fuel injection requires as far as what that pump delivers.
Yeah, they've got those regulators on there, but the regulators to what's up, Hojo?
Used OEM fuel tank for my Jeep runs. Woo! Holy crap!
Good gosh.
Well, see, I've seen like not used, but new tanks for other models that was like $125, $145, and stuff like that. I'd pay $325 for a new one, but I'm not paying not on a Ford Ranger. I told my buddy Robert, he had another Ranger out there on his property. He said he was going to look today, but it's been raining, and I don't know what year it is, or I don't know if it'll match. But I know how to get around it. I'll put a fuel cell in it. I'll be done with that.
I wouldn't think a fuel cell and all that and a retractable cover would be much cheaper than $300.
It wouldn't be, but that's a used tank. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Yeah,
just to
I
get
don't
around.
want a used tank. I'm able to get
Right.
it and it leak too. I think it's plastic. I need to put my magnet on there tomorrow and see. It looks plastic. But yeah, I was getting ready to do some work on it tomorrow. I'm like, well, I ain't doing nothing to it until I get this sorted out. The old truck's still worth getting, you know. I mean, it runs. It's just I got to do a little work to it. Didn't cost me anything, but there again, I don't want to put a lot of money in it either. Just what it needs. So we'll see.
Yeah, sometimes you can find that stuff cheap on marketplace, and that's not used.
Yeah,
Sometimes you can find something new where someone bought something for their project, and um, find something for their project, and then either decided not to do the project, or
yeah. I can get a 20-gallon fuel cell. That's without the pump. Now this is on Amazon. It's made by a company called Evil, and it comes with the gas gauge, the sending unit. It's already
yeah,
built into it, and it
yeah,
comes with all the fittings and some hose. I'd have to, get more than what they supply because, like I said, I'd have to install the pump. But I'm gonna look into it. Summit Racing's got a bunch of stuff too, and some of theirs will actually accept the fuel module like my truck has in the existing fuel tank that would just drop into this. I
right.
might have to go in there and look, but I might go that route.
Curtis is asking what the year of the truck is.
2001. It's a Ford Ranger XLT, extended cab. It's got a 3.0 V6 in it. It's
Yeah, it
still in
sucks.
good shape, though. For that age, I mean, that truck's in good shape.
Yeah, I
As
didn't
far as
know they.
there's no
I didn't know
rust.
Summit had that kind of stuff. I knew they had performance stuff, but oh, you're talking about a cell though that go in there.
Yeah. I've ordered from them before, nothing major, just certain things that I found. Believe it or not, is air conditioner parts. Those GM on the high side quick connects for General Motors, they're notorious for leaking. And so I ordered a sack full of them things, and I've already had to use a couple of them with cars that came in here to get me, that I've worked on their air conditioners. I just want to have some on hand, like $8 a piece for me to buy or have shipped.
I had to laugh today. My wife came out because, I mean, I've been digging it. I've been hitting hard trying to find this broken wire, and my wife came out today, and she says, "I said, what do you want?" She says, "No, I'm just being nosy, babe." So I want to find out if you found the wire. And I turned the radio up, and she was staying outside the truck. She says, "No, no, stop! Turn it down, turn it down." That thing really plays well. Really plays well.
Heck yeah.
Then some kid drove down the street with his music blast. I could hear it up to my house. I said, "Damn youngsters." She just looked at me and laughed like,
Yeah, go get Randy's fuel tank for me, will you?
"Yeah,
Christy will shoot your ass.
yeah, she would. She got a new gun too." Yeah. It, I said something about marketplace already. I always look there. I downloaded my downsized my reloading area, and I put a bunch of stuff up on marketplace. I've already sold two of the items in there. So one
What are
of them
you
I
getting
don't
rid of?
like a portable shooting bench, handmade, all pressure treated oak wood. I got that left to get rid of. Some guy did call me today and asked me how much I wanted for it. I said $200. At $200, you can't buy the lumber for that thing for much less than that. Plus the time that went into it.
Yeah.
So buy a whole sheet of 3/4 inch pressure treated plywood. and tell me $200 is too much. But and then all the trim for it's nice. It's a heavy ass unit. I got that left. I got a little Dremel uh, wood lathe. Like if you want to do like ink pens or whatever, turn finials, whatever you want to do. I've
Yeah.
got that still in the box. Got that. I want to sell, get rid of it. I got a actual tool to where I can turn shell casings without having to try and rig up something. So I still have that Dremel tool. I got another little tool, but chronograph. And if you're a reloader and you're trying to find out how hot your loads are, you shoot a bullet through over top of this radar, and it actually captures the speed in which it's traveling. So that way you'll know, if you're, too hot enough, getting hotter,
Yeah. My brother used to reload his stuff. He still might, as far as I know. I don't know. I don't know how much he pulls the guns. He's 10 years older than I am, which makes him 77. So, or going on,
Yeah.
he'd be 77 in May. But
What's up, Brian?
he used to be a police officer. He was chief of police. Matter of fact, I guess he still has all them guns, but he had a bunch of them. He
Yeah,
would have it. He had a
Demoose.
military M16. I don't know where he got it, but I got to shoot it one time. We went to where we used to shoot guns past the oil refinery there in Pascagoula. And anyway, yeah, man. I was a teenager. It was fun.
Yeah. I got that. I sold a Pro Mat. I sold a dovetailed wood box, lined wood box. It's basically an ammo crate.
Yeah.
Sold that to a guy. Actually, I sold it to a guy that I didn't recognize when he walked up to me. He asked me if I still had my Chevelle. And I'm like, how the hell do you do that? I'm just meeting a person out here in the parking lot. And he said, Scott. He said his last name, but he said, Scott. I said, oh, no, one way. I said, I remember you. I said, your older brother, which would have been my age, Scott was younger one, Donnie. He said, yeah. He told me his older brother has been dead 3 years this month. He died of a heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, damn.
I was thinking about your Chevelle today. You do still have it, I know, don't you?
Oh, yeah. He asked me if I was getting rid of it yet. And I said, you know what? I said, I had thought about selling it. I don't drive it. It's a sin just for it to sit there. But, I need to do something with it. But I'm just not ready to turn it loose yet.
Is the frame and everything good on it?
Oh, yeah. It's a South car. It's from
yeah, if I did drive it, I wouldn't drive it, but in the summer months when you ain't got all that salt on the road.
We've got that brine that goes down, man. That stuff eats up the vehicle. Ask me how I know. I had to bed of the truck off. It had to have 2 new cross members for the frame completely cut out and replaced because they are rotted up. Swiss cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to deal with that. I mean, you can buy a new car down here and you can drive it until the wheels fall off and the motor blows up because it ain't gonna rust out. They used to. Back in the 60s and 70s, those cars rusted. I don't know why, man. They started doing something different to them with their primers or something, but they just don't rust anymore.
Yeah, I saw
metal,
I saw a quick episode of that Backyard Barn Finds. I started watching that guy. I was so into his stuff every day.
Did you notice all them old cars? That was the years I'm talking about. Them old model Camaros and all, they rusted out bad. I bought a 1976 Camaro, brand new off the lot. Within 2 years, it had bubbling paint around that half vinyl top. Rust already that quick,
He had it looked like he was in a junkyard, and it was a 1970 black with white stripes, black on black on black, triple black, 396 big block, 4-speed car just sitting in that junkyard. It just turned to Swiss cheese. sitting
Yep.
there. I was like, man, what a sin. People knew,
All
but you
those
didn't know
cars,
back then, you know?
all those cars. I'm like, man, y'all should have sold these off years ago. Don't sit there and just let them rot out like that. You ain't got nothing but junk now. Big pile of scrap
Jumped
metal.
up. See, I got arrested. He jumped out, left, didn't push the button for Troy to get out. Yeah, I love my '69. Believe me.
Oh yeah, I'd hang on to it. I would, unless you worried about when you do pass on about who's gonna get it. But I
Yeah,
guess you could have it in a will or something to where they could sell it and split the money. I guess if the
yeah.
car don't mean nothing to them. Yeah.
What I had wanted to do, and it is not going to happen, because I also wanted the '69, the Corvette, while they still had the chrome bumper blades on them.
Yeah.
In '74, they did away with those. '73, they only had one chrome blade on it. But I want that '69 Vet so much, but just couldn't afford it, man. They just jumped up in cost.
Oh, insurance is ridiculous too. If you own a vet, especially if you're young and on a vet. That's what
Three
always
block,
prevented me from trying to get one. Camaros were bad enough.
yeah, 3 block lead, and then he ran out of gas. Well, that's the story. It's my luck.
We were back when I did air conditioner work there in Pascagoula. Uh, there was a chase going on one day, and they come zipping. This car was hauling butt right past where I was working at. Our garage was right there, and turned on Chico. Cops on his tail. Went down and come around and was going to come right back up past us. And they had time to get a unit out there to put one of those what do they call it, spikes that they run over.
Yeah, road spikes,
Anyways,
whatever.
they run that across the road. He hit it, and tires blew out, and it made him turn hard to the left, and he hit a tree. They had to get an ambulance to get him out of there. He done hurt himself. It serves you right.
Sorry.
Did it? Yeah. I never will forget that. Well, you just sitting there watching the show.
Hmm.
It's been a few years ago, back in the 90s. I'll be right
Smart.
back. I got to go hit the head
Like,
real quick.
all right, Ross. Yeah, I had a '66 Chevelle when I was younger. I've always had Chevelles until I, started doing work and stuff like that. Then I had to have trucks, but my '66 Chevelle, it was all fixed up. I had money in that car, and all that thing did was cost me money. Just tickets, tickets, tickets. I took off. I took off from a stoplight, spun the wheel, smoked it, and that cop pulled me over and said, "Boy, did you see me sitting behind you?" I said, "If I saw you sitting behind me, I wouldn't have done that." He says, "That was a stupid ass move." I said, "Wrote me a ticket. Reckless driving." Oldest car is '84 Vet. C4s, yeah. They had some problems with that cross fuel injection or something on the C4s. There's good ones and bad ones. I lost my license a couple times due to speeding tickets. Arrested driving without a license. Hey, Randy, tell
What, Randy?
Christy if she sees some strange people in the backyard trying to drop the fuel tank out of your Ranger truck, that it's all good. Everything will be all right.
What's up, Tim? Randy's late to the party. My fuel tank is leaking on my Ford Ranger. Just discovered it yesterday.
What's up,
Leaking
Timmy?
pretty good too, man. I'm like, golly. I know I knew I wasn't gonna be able to run a soften hose down there because they got like a screen in there to stop it from going into the tank.
Yeah.
And I tried anyway. Crap, I couldn't do nothing. Just let it sit there and leak on the driveway. Then it come heavy rain. I was glad wash that stuff off.
Shake
Somebody
rattle.
come by and flick a cigarette in my driveway. Everything's going up in a. Oh man, that was nerve wracking.
After I get my truck completely repainted, if that's what I end up doing, which I think I am, I just need to find a building someplace someone will let me spray it at. Go back into uh, my trade school trainings. I still take with it very little, but enough. I don't have the best of equipment, but Troy was talking about, or Moose was talking about, his buddy had a '66. It was named Shake, Rattle, and Roll. I saw a T-shirt in my truck. Is a GMC diesel 667, and I saw a shirt once for it. It said, "GM makes it, but Duramax shakes it," and I thought that was the coolest damn saying. I couldn't find the shirt nowhere. We were in Ocean City. Couldn't find the shirt nowhere on the boardwalk, but I thought about putting something like that on the truck. I get it back with when the GM makes it, but Duramax shakes it.
Yeah, Brian. I've had this thing about a year, and I always just keep enough gas because I'm not going to put it out on the road until I have everything done. So I just been backing it up to open my garage door. If I have a car come here for me to work on, I pull it on the side here on the road, and then it never leaves the house, is what I'm saying. So I don't keep a lot of gas in it to sit there and get old. I try to run it out on a regular basis. Well, my wife took it and went up to the little store here and she pumped $30 worth in there. It went over a half a tank. I didn't know it leaked. And somebody asked, was it plastic or metal? I think it's plastic. I'm gonna know for sure tomorrow. I've got a magnet with a mirror on it. I'm gonna stick that magnet and see. I think it's plastic. Feels like plastic.
That's Curtis from the Fish family. We shared a room
Okay.
last September at that fish event we went to.
But there's no rust on it. That's one reason I think it's plastic. I was expecting a rusted seam or something. It had like a heat shield going over it, and I bent out of the way yesterday, laying with a flashlight, and you can see it just coming out of that seam, just pouring out. It's like holy crap! It's like black plastic.
Dad, I'm pretty sure I said hello, but just making sure.
If it was metal, heck, I'd take it out of there. Take my bed off the truck, get it completely off there. Then I can take the blow off the top of it good, and then pull out the fuel pump module, suck all that gas out of there with my side. I got a thing hooked to an air hose. It's like a Venturi, and then you can pull all the gas out of it that way. And then
Yeah,
I'll now actually TIG weld that back up. Make sure all the fumes and all that side of it. Then I could fix it if it's metal, but I don't think it is. I could try to take like they got like a soldering iron that you can actually melt plastic with, but I'd hate to go through all that trouble and it still leak.
I
I'd rather
saw there
try.
actually an auto body shop. I saw it was a one of a kind tank. I can't remember what it's. Oh, it was for an a really old tractor for one of the Amish guys. I want to say it was Chalmers, maybe. I can't remember. It was an old one, but it had this tank on it that was very hard. Permatex makes a sealer for plastic tanks after you prep it good.
Yeah,
So they
I'm
took it to the.
thinking about just going with that fuel cell aluminum, all aluminum fuel cell, and I
Yeah,
mount that sucker right on the back. 'Cause I don't use the truck for anything anyway.
yeah.
Just if I once I get it running, I might grab something, but it's a Ford Ranger. What all can you haul with it?
Right.
But we'll see.
But that guy did that welding, that plastic welding. It worked good. It held water.
I've done plastic welding on that poly pipe, like for underground
Yeah.
pipe. That's a pretty cool setup. You got this plate that drops down, and you roll these pipes in. You got to have it. It's got a little guide right there. Like if you had 3-inch pipe, it tells you what temperature to have it at and how long you press it into it. Anyway, it kind of melts those lips back. You flip that thing up, and then you bring them in each other, and you apply pressure to it. With the machine, roll it tighter. You got to hold it for X amount of time. And let me tell you, that's solid all the way through. We did it, and we cut through it with a bandsaw. I mean, it looked just like if you did a pipe weld with metal, where you got solid metal all the way through. That was solid plastic all the way through.
Yeah.
Good bond. I've done that work when I worked for Brim years ago over in Mobile.
Yeah, I've never welded the poly. I've always just, once you got your fitting on there, your poly fitting in there, just sort of make a shrink around that fit before you put your clamps on it.
Yeah,
Let it form around there and get it a little more watertight.
right. Lance, you think you might know a guy that could make you some shirts or stickers up for you?
Yeah, I just got all that stuff set up too. That was part of the rearranging, remodeling, doing away with reloading stuff was to get them presses set out. I might do it. The printer is brand spanking new. Um, but I need to take and convert the ink to tanks. It's something that is DTF instead of like a paper ink. I need to put tanks on that will work for fabric.
Yeah. A plastic one. Yeah, I think if I get one, I'm gonna go all aluminum. I just got to figure out what it's gonna cost me though, because like I said, I'll have to buy an inline pump separate from it, and I have to make sure I get the right one and all that crap. But we'll see.
If I never put electric fuel pumps and stuff, we always had to put that. That's when I was running with big carburetors on the 66. Um, you had to turn that fuel pressure down on them. It was just an inline pressure regulator.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like at your car, there's a pressure regulator at the fuel rails. But still, I think your pump's got to be in a certain range right there. I just got to figure out what that is.
All this car talks make me want to start tinkering around again.
I
And I
hear you.
might, once I get this truck done, because I just, I'm not the richest man, so when I got some extra money, and I haven't had any side jobs really to speak of for a few months, but plus putting the truck in there and doing all that framework and rust repair took a
I
little bit of
thought
a
I
hit.
had I thought I had another AC job. I was on that next door app the other day, and some woman, I thought it was a guy at first. Her name is Taylor. Was wanting to know. Said I got cash in hand. I just bought a car and AC don't work. And anyway, I said message me, and if you want details, I can diagnose it and repair it. So she messaged me her phone number. I called her right then, and she I forget what kind of car it was. I want to say it's a Mitsubishi or something. I don't remember. But anyway, said she bought the car yesterday. Now this is Friday. I was talking to her. She bought the car on Thursday, and she said when she hits the AC button, it's making a god awful racket, like that. And I said, it only does it when you turn it on. She goes, yes. I said, it sounds like you got a bad compressor knocking or locked up or getting ready to lock up, is what it sounds like. So, but I'd have to look at it to know for sure. And she was supposed to drop it off the next morning. And she was already poor mouthing me. She goes, well, I've already looked at the price of compressors, and There, that was almost $500, and by the time I pay you, that's all the money I got. And I'm like, I wish I wouldn't even call this woman now, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, she didn't show, so I texted her to see if she was still bringing it. I didn't want to sit around here and wait on her, you know. And she never replied to my text. I can't stand people like that. At least have
Yeah.
enough common decency to say, no, I've changed my mind. You know, if I change my mind back, I'll let you know. At least do that. Just
Well, I called a guy yesterday. Well, after I was talking to you, I diagnosed that amp to be fine. I took a reading on the outputs for that left channel,
yeah.
and all the readings were consistent from one end to the other. There was what 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 output leads, and
Hmm.
they were all consistent. And once I figured out, because I thought next thing I was thinking, I said, well, it's time to replace that amplifier. But I called that guy up. I found one. I said, I said I could be calling you tomorrow for it. I said, but I don't
What's up,
want to buy
Steve?
it until I know I need it. And but after I figured out mine was good, I called him up. I messaged him and I said I won't be buying that thing, but I know where there is one, and I appreciate you. He
Yeah,
said, "Man,
that's
you
just
have no idea how much I appreciate that phone call." And I said, "Well, I just don't want to leave you hanging.
that's the decent thing to do, you know.
Respect.
Yeah, that's something a lot of
Dignity.
people ain't got nowadays,
Yeah,
especially youngins, you know. But yeah, she was already giving me a sob story. I'm like, I don't know if I want to work with this person or not. You know, they come out right out the gate saying they ain't got no money.
yeah.
Well, I don't work for free, so you can forget that. But there again, I'm better. I guarantee you, I'm about my price doing it right here is about a third of what a shop would cost you. You know,
Oh yeah.
I don't have the overhead, and I don't have employees and all that crap to worry with. You know,
What's up, Steven?
but I'm pretty selective who I'll work for anyway because I got a pretty good deal. It's just the work is very sporadic. This guy buys these cars and at an auction, turns around and sells them, you know. And I've been doing work for his mother too. That Jeep I just had is his mother's husband's Jeep or their Jeep, and I just got it back up and cooling. And they know me, and I know them somewhat. I don't mind doing that, but you dealing with people you don't know, you know. I don't
Yeah,
know, a lot of liability there, you know.
I might have some paint work come up, but we'll see. I talked to my uncle yesterday. He's who I talked to about that ohm meter, and he was saying that there's a automotive uh, repair shop and tire shop that's a franchise type thing. They're looking to repaint all their stores inside. So
That'd be good.
a lot of driving. There's four of them right here in these two counties. The rest of them are outside of Baltimore and
Oh,
stuff.
it's a franchise thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
What's up, brother Steven?
Yeah, I don't want to stay too busy. I just want a little work throughout the month. You know, I don't want to get out there every day like a full time job. But if I
Yeah.
could pick up a job once, twice a month, three times, I ain't. You know, that's perfect.
Oh, that's what I told him. I said, a couple, few times a week, maybe a couple
Yeah,
times a week. I said, I'd be willing to pick it up. It just gives me for hobbies. Weather's
yeah,
warming. I got some fish I want to get. Um, Need to get
that's
some
right.
new fish. And oh wow, a striper Raphael came out. Now he's gone again.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just trying to make money back to pay for all these tools I've been buying over the last 2 years. I
yeah,
showed you that one torque wrench the other day. I just got another one in yesterday, a 3/8 torque wrench. Well, the reason
yeah,
I did that, the big half inch starts at 30 pounds, foot pounds. That's the starting thing on it. I said I need something to go under 30. So I've got a 3/8. It starts at 5 foot-pounds. I said, okay, that's
Wow.
better. Because if I'm doing spark plugs, you know what I'm saying, like that car I did with aluminum block, you need to use a
Yeah.
torque wrench. It called for
Yeah.
15 foot-pounds, and I didn't have one, so I'm just I can feel. I've done it long enough, you know. I got a pretty good feel for it, but still, in all, I'd rather be more accurate than
Oh yeah.
that,
No, definitely
especially on somebody's aluminum engine.
dot I's, cross T's.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna make a little bit of extra money that way I can do some more playing around. I ain't ready to give up yet. I'd like to get this truck in really
no,
good
that's
shape.
what's keeping us going, really. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to quit working altogether.
Yeah. My
I ain't
son
ready
wants
for the
this truck
ride.
when I'm gone. It'll be in good shape, you know, when I'm gone. They can
Yeah,
enjoy it.
that's right. Yep, yep. Yeah, we got a bunch of rain come through in the wee hour mornings. I guess about 1 o'clock. I slept through it. I stayed up to 11 last night, which I've been going to bed about 9 o'clock every night for a while now. But that leak was concerning me, you know. And I go out there every now and then and look, see if it's slowing down. It finally did. It had a spot this big, and eventually you could see where that was drying up, and it got smaller and smaller. When I did go to bed, it was down about like this, but it still see a drip every now and then. I said, "Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just about, you know," and it's right there at that seam. I promise you. So tomorrow I'm gonna go out there and start it up and actually run some of it out, get it
All right.
below that, and yeah, I never would have knew that if she wasn't overfill or she didn't know she was overfilling it. All right. But yeah, I bought that battery maintainer because that truck can sit out there sometimes 2 to 3 weeks without me even firing it up, you know. And this, I think 5 times already, I walk out there to a dead battery. I'm like, God bless it. And it's a new battery. It's a year old. I said, I'm gonna destroy this battery. So I bought a battery maintainer and just leave it on there all the time, and it'll turn itself on and off as it needs to add a little bit to it, you know, to keep it topped off, kind of like an alternator does when you drive a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And you'll destroy a battery letting them. They're not designed to ever get much off of full
Yeah.
80%, you know, something like that.
Yeah, Rack, I saw that. Was it 99? I was 2 subs away from 1500. I put a smile on my face. I said, hell yeah. I knew it was. It's taken me 6 months to get up to 96, 95, 97. So I saw 99. I was like, hell yeah. Almost there. 98, whatever it is.
Yeah,
In fact, I
I
got,
got to figure out some content for my DIY channel. I already figured out what I'm doing on my next pits and spits. I'm gonna use a flat top grill, and there's a place that Trina said opened up over here. They farm oysters over here off of Deer Island. There's a reef out there, and
right,
it's like a man-made reef
right.
in the bay, and that's some of the best tasting oysters, man. I'm gonna do some char grilled oysters on my next cooking video. I said
That
go down
sounds
there and get
good.
a 25-pound sack, small sack, something like that, and do that. Those videos always seem to do good for me in time.
Yeah, that would be appreciated, Chris.
Yeah,
Arse. Yeah, 14.98. So I'm just 2 away.
Chris, go in there and unsubscribe and freak you out.
Yeah, I was just for spite. Well, if you do, NBL, that'll make
Rolled
two. That
over,
get right up top.
I rolled over 6,000 on my DIY channel last week. I think it was. Let me go to my dashboard. Yeah, 6,049 now.
Wow, that's great. I
Not
wish I
really. I
got
mean, it's
numbers
not
like
big.
that. I just don't get them like that. I'm just one here, one there.
Yeah.
I did put out a video that did fairly well last month, and I think I picked up 3 subs from it.
That's what I was getting ready to tell you. If you get a video that really hits and hits, where you get like 100,000, 150, 200,000 on that video, you're gonna get subs. You know,
Yeah,
they might not ever watch a video again, but they're gonna sub. That's just the nature of it. You know.
yeah. Then you got people that you find them and go check them out, watch videos and stuff. And
Yeah.
what's up, Eddie? You think they might sub or something, but they don't. They don't always sub.
I have done a crawfish pie before, Chris. It was like a big pot pie. It was like a full blown pie. It was crawfish pie. You've heard
Yeah.
that song, crawfish pie, filet gumbo. It's good too.
Good God, I ain't gonna try
Well,
all that. What's up, Win? I ain't gonna lie, when I didn't make it to your show yesterday, I've been tracing a broken wire in my truck in my pickup, and I just found it this afternoon. So, what's up, Civvy?
I love
Boy,
doing stuff like that, Lance. That's one of my favorite things is running down electrical problems like that. You know, that Jeep that come in here, that was right up my alley. You know, the way I do it systematically. You know what I'm saying? I look, you got to have a wiring diagram, though. That's a must. You can't just do it in the dark. You got to have a wiring diagram because all the wires got colors, and that's going to tell you the story right there. But electrical diagnostics, that's my favorite on automobiles. I'd rather do that than turn a wrench any day.
yeah. No, when I found it today, bro, it was beat me up bad. I don't mind that stuff, Russ. Part of my problem is just flexibility, man. You gotta lay on the side and twist and
Oh
do this,
God, yes.
hold the light, and then when your
That's what
face gets
killed me on that.
my face gets too close to something, it gets blurry on me.
Well, I was doing the same thing. I'm sitting there putting there with my glasses, trying to get to the bifocal part, you know. But what was hard about that Jeep is the sides where you step to get in there. It's that freaking tall. And I had to kind of lay my rib cage over that to get my head up under there to see some of that stuff. I'm like, golly, you know. But
Yeah,
luckily, most vehicles aren't like that. Usually, I can let that seat all the way back, and I can kind of lay on my side, and I can see what I need to see without taking all that crap off. Sometimes you got to take it all off, though. Just depends.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's when I used to work at the shop years ago there in Pascagoula. Have one, Chris. Uh, he put me on all them electrical jobs. He'd print me a diagram. He goes, "Here you go. The car's around back. Here's the keys. What's it doing?" He'd tell me. I'd pull it in. I go to looking. Yep, I enjoy it.
yeah. I really don't mind it. It's just the being flexible and like I said, my vision just absolutely sucks. If it's not lit up, I can't see nothing. And then when I try to get close to it, what's up, Simon? When I try to get close to it, it just gets blurry. Even with my glasses on, I was just
Oh,
like,
mine
God.
does the same thing. I had to fight it nowadays, but when I was younger, in my 40s, my eyes are probably just starting to fade a little bit. But I didn't even wear glasses. I was up under all them hoods, you know, pulling
Yeah.
dashes, all kind of stuff.
Best thing about having glasses on, I get less shit in your eyes. Still get it
Yeah,
in your eyes, but not as much.
right. It does hinder you though, big time. It does me.
Yeah,
If I got a good light, that helps a lot too. You know.
yeah. If you can do car electric, yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a place up the road here called All American Auto Electric. That's all he does. But
I'd rather fool with that than anything. I love electrical problems. But the ones I do are primarily related to the air conditioner system, though. You know,
yeah,
I don't go much out of that. I mean, I have, when I used to work at that shop, we had to take everything and anything, but we were primarily an air conditioner shop. That's what it started off as.
Yeah.
And eventually the owner just started taking everything, man. I pulled engines, dropped transmissions, you name it, I've done it there. But my favorite was air conditioning, and out of that, electrical problems was my favorite out of all of it.
My wife's car, I was beginning of the week. I was already looking for a used transmission versus rebuild versus new, and she says the damn thing seems like it's fixing itself. So I don't know what's wrong with this thing now.
Hmm.
So maybe I don't need a transmission after all. I'm not counting it out yet, but they put it on one of those computer things, but it didn't send a code. But driving it told them that it was some type of a band in the transmission. That once they start getting stretched out and all that, they take a little while before they catch,
Yeah.
and and tighten everything up. But
That's a trade to itself, man. Transmissions, I mean, it really is automatic transmissions. I've been into manuals, but I have no experience with an automatic transmission. I've replaced them, swapped
yeah,
them, but I've never been inside of one. Don't want to either, especially
yeah,
nowadays. The freaking 9 speeds and all that.
yeah.
All computer controlled.
I've R&R'd a number of manual shifts, but I've done
Yeah.
no automatics.
Yeah, I've been in manual. One of the first, well, it was the very first car. It was a little 3 speed 1969 Mustang. There was a roar. You could hear those bearings inside the transmission, needle bearings wore out. It was roaring. Anyway, went in there and I wasn't but 15 years old, but I had a brother-in-law that was knowledgeable, and me and him did work, but he's the one that actually knew what he was doing. But I learned from watching him. And I'm like a sponge. I just absorb that stuff.
I really think it's also if it's something you want to learn, you use the term sponge. I really
Yeah.
think if it's something that you want to learn, it is so much easier for you to comprehend
Oh yeah.
and pick it up.
Me and Derek was having that conversation. He's just like me. When he puts his mind in and interested in something, he'll learn everything he can about it and be
Right.
really knowledgeable of it. And but if it's something like school, he hated school, man. So
Yeah.
therefore, he did not excel in school at all. And I hated it too. But when I got out of school and stuff like that, man, I don't know, things I was truly interested in, I would research it and study it. I remember when I first started learning HVAC years ago, I bought these college level books and things on thermodynamics and go to the library. I was every night I'm reading this stuff until I had a really good understanding of how all that worked. Then of course your best trainer is on the job experience, learning it.
Definitely.
And eventually I got pretty proficient at that, which it's all changed too since some days, as far as almost everything's got some sort of computer board and a circuit board or something now. Back in them days, they didn't. It was
Yeah.
pretty,
Like Steven
pretty
said,
hard.
I mean, that's so much the truth. Good night, Pat. I mean, the older stuff, you can climb right up in the engine compartment, and straddle the motor or whatever you want to do. There was plenty of room. You could be in the compartment with the motor.
Oh yeah, I know. I was sitting there looking at that little Ranger because I got new plugs and plug wires right here, and I'm sitting there looking over here on the air conditioner side. This has got the evaporator box on the firewall on the outside. It's not inside under the dash. And I'm sitting there looking on that one plug right there. I'm like, boy, that's going to be a booger bear right there. I'll be able to get it without taking anything off, but it's not going to be fun.
Yeah, and that's one bad thing about putting headers on your vehicle.
Yeah, you're right. Self-diagnosis with the circuit boards with certain lights blinking and stuff like that. I remember when all that was starting to go to that. That's about the time I got into automotive air conditioning.
Oh, so I'll take a vote. Who thinks Bat sleeps upside down?
Yeah, if
good
you
one.
work on a modern day automotive air conditioning, you better have a scan tool. That tells you so much now because all that's computer control with sensors and all that. I wouldn't try to work on one without it unless it was blatantly like a locked up compressor or something. That's a no brainer there, you know. But
My brother-in-law's got that thing. Looks like a laptop. Just plugs it in up underneath your dash usually, and it just lets it run for a while. Like runs a diagnosis thing or something.
is it a scan tool?
Yeah, scan tool.
I've got three of them right here, three different ones, and I've done giving away one, two, three. I've had a total of six since I've started that channel that people sent me. I'm like, I don't need any more scan tools. I would take one of somebody like Top Don reached out because they got that Top Don Phoenix. That's one I want. And it's still not a snap on. Those snap ons are freaking ridiculous in price. You know, $5,000 to $10,000. Screw that.
Isn't
I
that
would
crazy?
never. I mean, if they want to give me one, that's fine. I'll never buy one. Plus, you got to pay a monthly thing on it, you know, for updates or yearly. I can see that if you got a shop and you're using it day in and day out and can recoup your money, but I can never recoup my money on that.
Love my V8 motors. V8 Monzas. I never
I had
had
a
a V8 Monza.
1976. I had a B8, had a 305. It was a 1976 Monza, and it looked like a race car with the stripes and everything. That little dude was a screaming demon. I should have kept that car. I got it used, but it was still in real good shape. That thing would haul booty.
Mine's a Spider.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of engine for that little car. It wasn't much bigger than a Vega.
Well, it's like that GTO. Well, it's older now, but that thing had a sick motor in it. You look at it, like Moose said earlier, sleeper. You look at that thing and figure it had, where's all that noise come from? Those little things will run down the road, stock.
Oh yeah.
V8 5 speed. I don't really remember the Monza Spider. Nothing's really come to mind very much.
Mine had the spoilers all the way around the bottom, or around the front,
The
all the
ground
way,
effects.
all the way around that thing. I'm looking through pictures, trying to see if I can find something that looks similar to it.
I had the Vega. I had the hatchback. It was red with all the fancy black scroll painting around the door handles and side marker lights and stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Move a motor to change the spark plug. That's engineer. Tell they don't work on them. Oh yeah, Moose. It was like that freehand scroll work they would do around like your door handles and stuff, side marker lights. That's what that Vega had in it. I didn't put it on there. I bought it like that. It was my first car, and I was painting houses in the neighborhood and earned enough money to buy it from one of the people in the neighborhood. I used to sit underneath the carport that thing at night. My mom come out there and wake me up in it next morning.
That crazy cat.
Good old days. It's like right now, if I had enough light, I'd go out there because it's still 64 degrees here. I'd go out there and start putting things back together on that truck.
This is pretty close to what it looked like right here. See them stripes and all on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looked very similar to what I had. I remember blue and red stripes, white car. That's a pretty sporty little car for them.
1980
I think I
blue.
ended up trading that car. I don't remember what I got after that. I think I traded that and I bought I think it was a 1983 piece of crap Mustang, brand new off the lot, and that I hated that car. I should have never done that. That
Um,
wasn't like the Mustangs from the '60s at all.
Steven, gold T-top.
Oh man, had a 1980 blue T-top Trans Am that came around like no
What
tomorrow.
they call that bird on the front end, on the hood?
The Phoenix.
Phoenix, that's it. That car would get.
Oh yeah, Trans Am. What's your pleasure?
Yeah.
What movie was that from?
Smokey and the Bandits.
That's it. Remember that black and gold edition?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted that car back then. Never had a Trans Am, but I did have a 1988 Firebird with T-tops that I bought brand new off the lot. That was another one I should have hung on to.
They
But my ex-wife talked me into getting rid of that. She said, we need a car and a truck. So here I go looking to trade up one car for one car and a truck. And both the two I got was pieces of crap. Ended up with a Ford Tempo and an shut up.
got a bell around her neck.
She's in heat again, I guess. I don't know what's wrong with that crazy loon.
Sound like I heard a bell. Yeah, I've watched people on TV do that striping with them big old long bristles on that short handled brush. They just take the fingers and let the fingers ride the body. Yeah, the brush in their hand becomes one, and it just follows the brush follows the hand and the hands following the body. That's amazing watching them do that stuff. What's even more amazing is to watch them. What's up, Nick? What's even more amazing is to watch them. They're doing all that stuff and the start stops. Where they running out of paint on the brush. But
Yeah.
I always wondered how they did that.
You was talking about painting those garages. How would you do that? Just brush and roller?
Well, it would be the waiting rooms, customer service, customer waiting rooms.
I mean, is
That
that how you just old school?
Yeah, I roll on. I don't spray nothing.
Okay.
I haven't sprayed anything in so long. It's just, to me, it was just never really worth the time. You cover everything up,
Prep
get
it. Yeah.
stuff, prep it, and you get something that lets you reach your ceiling so you can go up there and spray it.
Right.
I just don't mess with it.
Yeah, I was just curious how you done it.
Um,
Lance is rolling, rolling, rolling.
see if I got it. Yeah, it should work. You missed Nick. Just had Mike in here for MSC. Curtis Skull was in here. I forget who else the other one was. We had a few fish people in here tonight. Who was the other one? Rack. Yeah, Rack was in here too. Got someone's gonna pop in for a little bit. Maybe. You ought
Where's
to.
Simon at tonight?
Skull's still here. Yeah, I was letting. What's up, Jesse? I was letting Nick know that you were in here earlier, Skull. I didn't know you were still here. Um, he had company come in unexpectedly,
Oh, okay.
so he needed to take night off. Melly my brine, shrimp hatcher.
Oh goodness.
My poor tanks. I don't like just adding water to them. I think it's one of Mike's live. They said if you keep just adding water to it, your water just really gets hard. So I really don't try to add water.
Only one I got. I'll be darned. I wonder what year that is.
How's that baby doing, Jesse? Doing fishing tour. Yeah, that's what I should be doing. But I get this truck interior put back together. I'll be ready to go. Jump on these tanks. Now we're going to be in the warmer weather. I can't believe it's still 64. You know
I
how
called
long
my
it's been?
I called my buddy. He said he's gonna look and see if he had another Ranger on his property. He does, but that's not extended cab. And I just asked him if he knew what year it was. I'm just gonna see if it's compatible by any chance, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna do something different. I'd hate to pull something out of that and it leak too.
What's up, Guggen?
What's going on?
What are you sporting?
What do you mean, my hat?
Yeah, I got it all tipped to the side.
I don't know why it looks like that. I'm trying to fix it.
Is that Blackstone?
Nah, it's just the company I work for. It's their logo.
Lance. Put a pill on the milk crate. I'm telling you what.
What's up, AJ?
What's going on, man? How you doing, Russ?
I'm making it.
I hear you. Sounds like somebody's tinkling. I don't hear that when I'm watching on the TV, but I hear it with my headphone in.
I can hear it too coming over the
Tanks.
speaker. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Fish tanks.
Yeah, they're all real. Every tank in here is low on water right now. So you're going to hear the water return splashing on the surface.
Well, if I was there, I could fill it up for you.
I got to take them all down about 20%, something like that, and then top them back off. Except this big one here. I'm still fighting black water algae in it. Following Stephen P. and Jeff K's instructions. Keep the lighting down, liquid fertilizer up. And Jeff K said to do like a 60% water change on them. And that's what I've been doing. I've been taking, it's a 75 gallon, so I've been taking a lot of water out of that. It's working, just slow. The Blackbeard's some hateful ass algae.
How much time per day do you have to put in them tanks? Just a few minutes?
Yeah, just a few minutes. Most of the time is, and then at nighttime I defrost frozen food, and that takes a little time to get it mixed up, and
yeah.
But otherwise, you just go by there and just grab a pinch of dry flakes and put it in there. They're all excited now.
Yeah, you're right, Stephen. Everything's made out of plastic nowadays.
So I've got to get my corned beef cooked done this week. I told Rich. I would participate in his St. Patty's Day collab. I really wasn't doing collabs that anymore really to speak of, but I told him I would, so I will.
Who's that? Rick?
Yeah.
Is that
I said, is that Rick? You said?
Rich?
Oh. What's his channel name?
Just eat the damn food.
Oh. I don't know if I follow him. I'll have to check it out.
He's out of Texas. I thought it was Georgia.
I think he's just cooked the damn food.
Oh, so what did I say? Just eat
Just
it?
eat the damn food. That's what Mama used to say to us kids when we didn't like eating vegetables. Just eat the damn food.
Just shut up, eat the damn food. You're going to eat what's on your plate, or you're going to eat everything else on his pot.
Yeah, I didn't get any more work done on that gazebo. And for all those that are listening, I'm building kind of like a barbecue shack and started on it yesterday, but kind of got rained out today.
Turn you up.
All that rain we had last night.
I turned you up
Towards
last
Georgia.
week. Yeah, we were supposed to get a little bit of rain today, but
We
It
had all
rained
that last
Friday.
night. There was a break in it. Then it started again this evening. Then it didn't last long. After that.
Is this better? I changed some settings.
oh yeah, a whole lot better.
Yeah,
Last time you had your mic turned up, and it was still turned up, but
I had all the old settings when I have my regular mic and my headphones downstairs.
yeah.
So I had to change things for this AirPod.
So that baby girl enjoying that new playset?
Yep, we can't get her off of it. Yeah, we got her a nice playset for the backyard, and she's been going nuts.
Yeah. I can't get over how big she's getting, man. She's getting big quick.
They grow fast.
Tall, you know. And that
she's
blonde
talking
hair.
a lot.
What's that?
Said she's talking a lot, and now
Yeah,
she's starting
right.
to count. She's only 2.5, but
Yeah. She's got her mama's hair.
yep. Well, Mama's hair is fake, so she dyes it.
But right about now, you see a hand come in the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I better keep it down. But yeah, man, I'm excited for that barbecue shack. Should be pretty neat when I'm done.
Yeah. What kind of roof is going on that?
It's like a metal roof.
Metal.
Yeah.
Zero traffic air controller. Why? Imagine if Lance was an air traffic controller. I couldn't imagine it.
Who said
So
that?
what were you going to ask
Chris.
Daddy Dutch?
I was over here when you said that. So that's got to be Chris. Sure enough.
Dutch had some unexpected people come in also. He couldn't make it.
Oh, okay.
We'll get him in here again. I like to do some people, have some people in here once in a while. Just might change up the subjects. I mean, I enjoy Russ, Simon, and I, but sometimes you just run amok.
Yeah, same old, same old.
Yeah. Not that I really mind it because there's usually something different about it, but I would fly with my parachute.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of interesting things going on right now, so can't add a whole lot.
What are we
Just
doing?
taking
Talk
care
about
of kids.
baby. Talk about your baby. Talk about play set. Talk about the barbecue shack. So what do you? So you had the four corners up now. It looks like the ribs.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still a lot more roof structure to add to it, but I haven't gotten there yet. But I'll have to see if that pad is level or not. If not, I'm going to have to level the gazebo.
So what I saw is they going to sit on the pad, or are you putting concrete pillars out the outside of it yet?
It should. Yeah, I measured it. It's supposed to sit on the pad. Yep. I just got to get in there with a pressure washer, and I let the grass kind of. We got Bermuda, so it likes to grow sideways and kind of
Yeah,
sprawl out. It's covering a lot of the pad right now.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, for the pictures, they were looking at it had a little bit of a slope in it, but you probably want some runoff. But
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't need it with that roof design. You wouldn't need any type of runoff with it. But Miss
Yeah,
Jody
but I'm
P,
excited.
I'm glad to see
Are
you, Jody.
you able to keep your smokers under it? Is that what you're building it for? Or okay,
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all my cookers under it, and
okay.
it's gonna have like a nice wall that I can mount some things on it, kind of like yours, Russ. I think, or is that at your son's place? But you started mounting
Derek,
Yeah,
license plates.
yeah,
yeah. What he had before he put them walls, it was just a porch coming off out of the back door. Then he
yeah,
walled up one side and this side where I stood most of the time, but the other side we kept open to let smoke go through, and we had a door on the other side. And we just it was mainly a prop, kind of a rustic looking thing, with all the car tags. I liked it though; it looked good. None of that's there now. He tore every bit of it down
did he really tear it all back down? All right.
when I started shooting here again. He ended up tearing all that down, except for the porch. The porch is still there.
Yeah.
It went back to the way it was.
So you're gonna have electric out there too, Guggen? I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, we got an electrician coming. We're doing some work to the house, and they're going to be out here anyway. So I figured I'd just have them run it out there too.
Yeah. Always plan on extras.
Oh yeah,
Just a couple anyway.
it'd be nice to have water out there and a sink, but I think that's too much money. I'm not going to do that right now.
I mean, I don't see how it's laid out or anything, but all you gotta do is just rent yourself a little trencher. Come inside. I don't know how you can come in the house, but I mean, you don't really worry about freezing weather that much, do you?
I mean,
you
it gets cold for a month here.
Yeah.
Pretty well below freezing. But I could, if I had a shut off, I could drain it,
Right.
drain the line, so it should be all
Right.
right.
That's what I mean. You could come in the wall and not have to come up to the floor.
Yeah.
That'd be easy, But your
Mhm.
garage is all open still down there, isn't it?
Mhm.
Basement area.
Yeah, it's pretty much unfinished except for one room.
Except for your office. Your office down there?
Yep.
You could always, if you got an outdoor spigot coming out of your outside,
Mhm.
they got a Y you could adapt just to one side.
Yeah.
Got a valve right there to cut your water off, and then anyway, you could go straight down, then trench from there. That would supply water. And as far
Yeah.
as the sink goes, that's just gray water. I mean, you could actually just pipe it to where it pour it on the lawn somewhere. It's not like you'd be out there using it all the time.
Right.
Yeah, I'll just
Somehow.
pipe it into the neighbor's yard.
Yeah, there you go. Problem
Yeah, all you
solved.
gotta do is let it run out right to the base of a tree.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of at the end. I don't know. I don't know how you're laid out. If you had some woods behind it, that'd be perfect. Just bring it to the edge there and just let it pour. But you could just go right up under the ground with something like that. If you're on a hill and let it follow downhill and then come out, and you could do
Yeah.
that. Just get some PVC from Lowe's or somewhere, Home Depot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one of those big Christmas trees that's like 50 foot high, but I could
Yeah,
hide the line, bury it, and go to that tree or something.
yeah, yeah. You could have water and have a drain for your gray water.
Yeah, you're gonna wish you had water, man. That's one thing I'm glad I ended up doing here a couple years back. You got messy hands, you ain't gotta run into the house,
Oh,
gotta
believe
run
me,
up
I
to the
already know,
garden
man.
hose. Yeah, it makes it so
Yeah,
nice.
that, and I don't know if you fish or not, but if you ever clean fish, you'd have a place to clean fish with water right there to rinse some fillets off. That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should do it.
In mine, I have to worry about freezing weather. If it gets real, real cold, days on, days out, I've got to run Let this spigot in here trickle. Keep the line from freezing up.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Russ and Chris, thanks for the advice. Yeah, I got a spigot right there. It's probably only 15 feet from where I'm
Yeah.
building a gazebo.
And from the spigot down, I would get some of that heavy insulation that goes around pipe. Once it goes underground, you ain't got to worry about it. If you go deep enough, get below the frost line,
Yep.
If I'm ever a guest at your house, Chris, I don't want to hear you get pissed off because I'm pissing in your sink.
That's how he makes his pea soup. Yeah, and I'm excited to get the offset smoker back out there and covered because it rains a lot in the spring here in
Yeah.
Georgia. There's a lot of days I can't even cook.
Yeah. Now, do you pull your smokers in and out? Like once they cool off, put it back in the house, or they leave outside just covered?
I've been keeping them in the garage, and I want my garage space. So, I pull them out when I use them, put them back away, but I want my garage back, so that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. My garage is slap full of smokers when I moved here, and it got even more fuller and more fuller. That's when I started selling some off. And right now I've got only one smoker in there, and that's the only one I'm gonna keep in there. That's that old hickory. My pits and spits are outside in the weather, and I don't care. It's like they're not going back in the garage. I've been fixing it up where it can be a garage again, or really a workshop. You can't even get a car in it. It's just a single garage, but shelves and all that.
You just notice something in there, just enough to get you out the sun. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all I got. And that's the only handicap for me. Like somebody wants me to do like an AC job. If it rains hard all one day, I can't do nothing. I got to wait till the next day when it dries up because I got to do everything at the door of my garage. I pull them up to the door, all my tools and all my equipment's inside the garage, and I just work right there at the front door. It's shaded right there.
Yeah.
And
I might be calling you because that's one of the things I want to start doing here. That truck, it's got an AC leak. So I'd like to be able to fix that. I get my air conditioning working because I do like the air conditioning.
Oh yeah, got to have it down here.
But otherwise, everything else inside works except for the AC. So, that's not true. I got a couple peanut bulbs that have burnt out. I'm going to replace them. I'm thinking about changing the colors of them. But it's just more work. Just replace with the back.
What did you say? Peanut what?
They're like little peanut bulbs. I don't know what they're called exactly. It got two little wires on.
About lights? Okay.
Dash lights, yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I got two of them out. I got one out on my climate control knobs, and I got one out on the four-wheel drive selector.
That's on your truck.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a four-wheel drive you got. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just put new armrest, the switch holders. Just did all that this evening. I did get that door panel back together. Replaced that that whole whatever you call it, the armrest switch control housing thing. It broke. I replaced that. It's going a little bit here, a little bit there.
Well, good, man.
You still got your Humvee, AJ?
Still got it. Yep.
Always taking up.
So I got the grills taking up half the garage and the Humvee taking up the other half. So the wife needs her spot back.
You got a double garage, huh?
Yeah.
I wish I did. Golly, I could use that extra room.
Yeah, I actually put that other building in the back, but my mother-in-law passed, and my wife was the only child, so everything that woman owned came right here.
My youngest son, the one that lives right here in Vancouver, he's talking about building a shop on his property there. He's got, I don't know, 10 acres or something like that. but putting at least a two stall garage, put a lift in it and all that. And I said, heck yeah, man.
That's what my nephew did.
It's
He can pour right in his garage and put it on a lift and take it up. Still be at home. I
Yeah,
said, man,
man, it makes such a difference. Golly. It's kind of like I was trying to tell this buddy of mine. He had what was that, a 2013 Toyota Highlander. And that freaking compressor was a nightmare to get out of there. But I'm laying on my back on a creeper, put it up on jacks, and I finally got it fished between these two frames. It'll come out, but it's a trick. And I said, and I was telling him, I said, they quote these. I think it was a 5-hour job on that compressor, and no, 3 hour. I said on a lift, it probably is 3 hours, but it took me 5 hours. That's taking it out and putting it back in, but that lift can really save some time and headache.
You save on the sink, Chris, and just wash your face in the toilet water.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I ever build a shop, it's definitely getting a lift. That's something I've always wanted.
Oh, man,
There
they're not that bad in price.
If I was single, I would look for a place like that. He just said it, 3-bay garage with a bedroom and a sink, kitchen to the side. I would live in it.
The problem is the cost of building one. I'd be better off selling this house and finding one that has a shop because it's so expensive now.
Yeah, something
Well,
that's
I
already.
told that guy about that bench. That shooting bench is 6 foot long and just under 4 foot wide. Its widest point. It tapers down. Yeah, I said you can't buy the wood for $40. I said no. I can't entertain the idea of $40.
You could probably buy a metal building way cheaper than trying to have a shop built out of wood.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
That's why them pole buildings got so popular around here.
Yeah.
Look over your head.
Where's Simon tonight? Took the night off?
Yeah. He and Kent both had unexpected guests. So Simon sent me a message earlier this afternoon. Kent may have tried, but to be honest with you, I forgot to send him the link too. I did it like 2:00 this morning, and I just didn't even think about it. We got lucky we put our shed up 2020. Pre-COVID prices. Yeah, there you go. That's a huge building. You ought to see this building.
Yeah, prior to 2020, it was probably affordable for most everybody, but damn, not no more, man. Nothing is.
Yeah.
Freaking the cars, these trucks. Did I tell you that my son that had the blowed up engine in that 223, where it blowed the rear seal out? Did I tell you about? Well, they put a new engine in it. Now it's back in the dealership. Same problem. Blocks are not holding up. They keep cracking down the cylinder wall. Yeah, a crack down the cylinder wall, pushing all that pressure down to the crankcase, blowing the rear seal out. And I was like, dude, I go see me a lawyer. They'd be putting me in whatever I want for all the damn trouble you've been through.
There is a lawsuit, and if my brother-in-law was here, he could spit it out verbatim because he can't stand Chevrolets. But there's a lawsuit right now that for that exact thing you're describing. They've got, I can't remember how many millions of motors that GM has to replace.
Every one of them.
Ford's got the same price. They tried to accommodate Biden's future EPA rules.
Right.
And they built these motors that are just cracking walls, piston walls.
They're junk, man. They're just freaking junk. And they were telling him the other day that they were probably replacing it with a different engine altogether. but the engine they're wanting to replace it with ain't got near the power that this one does. I mean, it's a big truck. I can't hardly get up in that thing. You know, I got to have a step ladder. But I mean, it's factory that way. It's like, holy crap, dude! Why do you keep buying these monster trucks? You know.
Yeah.
But so I don't know what they're gonna do. But he's supposed to went and picked up a rental the other day. Not a rental, but one he can drive until they get his fixed. The last time they had that truck 6 months before he got it back. He had already planned on once, you know, all that was done was going to through a lawyer and getting some sort of payback on something, you know. But now he's really got them, you know.
Yeah, there is. He was just telling me about that Tuesday this week. We looked at the transmission on my wife's car. That don't even know what's going to happen to GM. I mean, this could be the end of General Motors.
Yeah.
There's so many motors out there they have to replace. Millions of motors.
Nah, we'll bail them out again.
Yeah, that was Chrysler.
Just like we did
years ago. Remember that? That bail out Chrysler, and then but now GM. My dad never owned nothing but a Chevrolet, you know, all the years, and that's what I had. I had probably more Chevrolets than I have anything, and I didn't have no problems out of none of them older ones. Those wasn't the problem. It's today's General Motors. The parts that they're putting in these are not even American made anymore like they used to be. Most of that junk's coming straight out of China, you know. But I don't know. It seems like the further time goes and the more technology, we'd be building better engines than ever before, you know. But it's going backwards, you know. It's going.
They're so worried about saving money on a part.
Yeah.
So they put more money in their pockets. You know,
well, what's so bad? These trucks cost $100,000 now. You know, 80 to 100,000. He bought his used 2023. He bought it in 24, and he paid like 63,000, I think, for that truck. And he traded that Jeep in that he had. And he's like, I told him, you know, I sold him my 2008 Sierra GMC, and that was prior to COVID, prior to all these things having all these troubles. I said, you should have kept that truck you bought from me. He's like, boy, don't you know that I sure should have. You know, that was still a really good truck, even when he sold it. It had over 200,000 miles, and he still would have been better off. He can't get a year out of this truck without blowing an engine up, you know?
Yeah. Well, diesel's definitely, that diesel mine's got 469,000 miles on it. It's still going. But what irked my ass is that the fuel that takes the least amount of refining is the one that jumps up, you know, over $1 a gallon because of the current wars going on. But they always hit the diesels, and it's the one that doesn't take all the refining to make the fuel, you know, gas.
I was watching a video today on synthetic oils. And I didn't know this, but Mobil One, they sued Castrol Oil, I don't know how many years back, because they were selling this oil and they were calling it synthetic. And in actuality, it wasn't synthetic. It was actually using regular petroleum oil and going through a cracking process or something and really refining it to where it had synthetic quality, you know, but it wasn't really synthetic. And they end up losing that lawsuit because there is no real distinction or definition of what synthetic oil even is. But true synthetic oil is a PAO oil, and that's what Mobil One is. That's what Tarina runs in our car. She was a sticker on that. I went in there and said, "Isn't that Mobil One that you buy?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, good," because that's one of the few real synthetic oils, you know. There's so many brands out there, and it's not really synthetic at all, and they can call it that and get away with it legally because of what I just said, you know.
Yeah, that's true, Jody. I mean, those diesels, they're a whole lot more expensive, but I tell you what,
they're expensive to repair too.
They'll be around longer than that gas motor will be.
That's true. That's true. I guess the money's what scares me off on a diesel. I wouldn't mind having one, but if something does break or whatever, I just think it'd be expensive, but maybe not. If I can get 1,000,000 miles off of it, it wouldn't matter, would it?
Yeah. I was someone was telling me, I can't remember, it was someone in the chat. I can't remember. I was really going for that 500,000 mile where GM would get you a new vehicle if your vehicle hit 500,000 miles or something. And the person was telling me they jacked it up to 700 some thousand miles now. So you're going to have to flip 750,000 miles on the original motor
Pretty good.
in order to get a new vehicle now.
Wow.
Just do Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Put it on some center blocks and put it in drive and let it run.
Yeah.
I worked on a Volkswagen last year on the air conditioner. I had to put a whole new condenser, compressor, all this stuff. But anyway, it was I think it was a 2 point something diesel in it. And that was a sweet little car, man. I'm like, I wouldn't mind having that,
Man,
That car,
yeah, I had a Jetta diesel years ago. That thing was awesome, like 45 to 50 miles per gallon, and it was great.
After I forget what she had, it was a Volkswagen Passat, and it was pretty color. It was like a real light, kind of a silvery blue color or whatever, and it's really mint condition. And the guy that I do the work for, he sold it to her. And I guess he sold it to her in the winter months. Once it got to be probably April or May, she knew that AC wasn't working, so he ended up paying half the bill on it, And I didn't like where he ordered the parts, but that's on him. He ordered all that from Parts Geek, I'm like, golly, I said, I'll warranty my work, but them parts is on him. If that compressor don't last more than a couple of years,
Yeah. They were, Curtis. Those little Scirocco's, they were little badass little cars. I remember a buddy of mine had one of those in high school. That little thing would run its butt off. But that still on a Volkswagen thing, they had that diesel Rabbit.
I remember that.
Go forever.
Yeah. What was that commercial? Something about it. Some go boing, boing. No, that was that Mazda commercial. Never mind. With a rotary engine.
What's up, Skipper?
Yeah, I had a 2011.
Skipper, if Curtis calls you, Skipper, try to talk you into coming to the Clash this year so we can barbecue. Well, it's not my fault. What's up, Don?
2000 what, AJ?
It was about 10 years ago. I had a 2011 BMW 3 Series, but it had a inline 6 diesel, turbo diesel, and it had like 400 foot-pounds of torque and still got like 30 miles a gallon. It was pretty sweet.
Wow. That was do you buy it used or new? That's not a big. Yeah, man.
It was only a few years old when I bought it, but I got it so cheap.
Really?
It was on eBay. I wasn't planning on buying it, but I won the auction. And when the bank, I got a loan for it because I still had just gotten out of college, just gotten a job. They're like, "Are you sure this isn't a scam?" Because it was so cheap.
Hey,
but it wasn't. And I had it for like 5 years, and it was great.
Wow. A Beamer.
Kurt, is that the 1600s Bugs?
I like some of them German cars and stuff, like Mercedes.
Thanks, Dad.
But man, the engineering on them, they go so overboard on. I had to do what was an evaporator. I forget what Mercedes this was. This is years ago when I worked in the shop, and the owner of my shop that I worked at, he made them bring a service manual with that car when they brought it in to disassemble that dash and everything. Usually you can drop your head down and you can see screws and stuff like that on American made. Every screw on this thing was up and behind, coming in from the back this way. It was a freaking nightmare. And I'll never forget them people came and checked on it like the next day, and I had that whole dash out, everything in the back seat, just everywhere. And they looked, and all they seen was wires. They're like, "Oh my God, my car! Can you put that back together?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And I'm like, boy, I hope I can put this back together. But yeah,
Hold on. I got to go make some pea soup real quick.
that's
Okay.
like a good challenge, man.
Rack, did that thing have a gasoline heater in the back of it? Volkswagen did some crazy stuff.
Yeah, the mole ones. Yeah, I watched a video this morning on a Beetle, 1973, and the guy that has the channel, he had his mentor on there, the one that he learned from like 30 years ago. And this guy used to work for a Volkswagen dealership way back in the day, and it was kind of funny. The guy, his mentor, he walks out. All they did was describe the problem instead of him actually diagnosing the problem. 100% sure. He says, "I know what the problem is." He goes, "This carburetor right here. What happens is that float gets a hole in it, and it weights that float down. And when it's cold, it'll start." Blah blah. And he's just going on and on and on. He goes, "Or the other problem is this electric choke right here." Might not be opening up after it warms up, and then it won't restart. And that was the problem, but he didn't really take the proper way of getting there.
Yeah.
But the other guy ended up, he was wanting to put a used carburetor on a rebuilt carburetor. He's like, just put a rebuilt carburetor on there, be good as new. And then the shop owner was like, I'm not putting a rebuilt carburetor. He says, if worst case scenario, we'll rebuild this carburetor, the one that came with the engine. And but he ended up adjusting that choke. It's got 3 screws, and you can adjust that thing.
Yep.
Anyway, he got it to where that would open up when it warmed up, and it was running fine after that. No parts, no anything.
I will say that VW Beetles, I've had 2 personally. My wife's had 2 also, and they are something just you can always hit a key and go. You may not have heat all the time in the winter unless you're driving, but if you're sitting at a stoplight, you don't have no heat.
Right.
And if you don't keep your spare tire inflated, you don't have washer fluid for your windshield. So that was some of the drawbacks to them, but they always went, man. We used to go. I was getting ready to tell Curtis. We used to go to Manassas, Virginia. They had a bug out twice a year. There was like bug shows, bug races, swap meets, and stuff like that. I used to love going on them things.
Yeah.
Used to have competitions to see who could pull out and reinstall a Type 1 1600 Beetle engine in the quickest amount of time. And I mean, these things were, a couple minutes.
Yeah. I'll never forget my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law now, but he had a Baja. He converted one into a Baja where the engine is fully exposed, nothing going in front of it. He could put a floor jack on that thing and take 4 bolts out and roll that whole engine out. It's like, holy smoke, just in a matter of minutes. It's like they just impressed the heck out of me. But he was real big into Volkswagens at one time, years ago. But I'll tell you something about that little Volkswagen. We used to go deer hunting in it, and I'll never forget it. It was raining and wet and muddy, and there was this hill going up. And these 4-wheel drive trucks and Jeeps, everything, they're slipping and sliding back down. He got in there, he went but just like a John Deere tractor, and went right up that hill and kept on going. He was the only one that could make it up that hill. I'm like, holy smokes, these guys got all this money invested in 4-wheel drives,
Yep, those things would go all the time. That's wild, Curtis. Just bug outs, they're big events. My father-in-law was when he retired from the government, he opened up what they called M&S Foreign Car, and he was known for bugs. We used to build motors just slightly, a little cam, maybe a dual carburetor, but it was just a little bit of cam and piston work.
Yeah,
nothing really crazy. Because you still wanted them to, be reliable.
What does he mean on a slider?
Thank you, honey.
On a slider, Russ? Do you understand what he's asking?
On a slider, Russ.
I don't know if he's referring to that engine pulling right out or what.
Oh, maybe with the jack. It was just regular jack. That's all we had.
Regular jack, jacked up under the engine, got it, up under it, loosened 4 bolts, and just pulled it straight out. Get to your
Yeah.
clutch and everything.
It's kind of how 911s are. Porsche 911s, the engine's just meant to drop right out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Which is
that's
pretty
like,
cool.
they don't get no easier than that.
The hardest one was back behind the fan housing at the top of the bell housing. That was the hardest one to get to. But otherwise, they were just.
Yeah, I never fooled with them, but I used to watch him work on that one, that little Baja. I enjoyed riding in it though. I ain't beat you to death, out in the woods and all, but that's what we went hunting in every year. About like a dune buggy, but it still had the bug body on it and everything. Had that tailpipe sticking straight out of the engine, a little like a
Yeah,
snake.
TP pipe.
Yeah,
So Kurt, he's got one. He's got Doom. One of his bugs is the Doom buggy. The 63, I think he said. Swing axle bug.
yeah.
Never did a fiberglass bug kit. I thought about it, but never did. They had one
Okay.
wide eye. Was it wide eye and narrow eye? If I remember correctly, 2 Baja kits you can get. Wide eye and narrow eye.
Yeah. Yeah, they used to have all kind of kit cars you could buy that would fit on a Volkswagen frame. I mean,
Oh yeah. MG
things that,
kits.
yeah,
The old MGs.
kit cars.
Guy was getting divorced. Well, we hit our 2-hour mark.
Yep.
It's up to y'all. We can call it a night. I know Googan might have daddy duties before too much longer. Russ, I don't know what you're up to, but
I'm just hanging, man. Hanging.
we can hang for a little bit longer if you want until we start seeing the numbers drop off. We got 11 in here, but not a whole lot. But
Hey, Russ, have you ever heard of the? Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Somebody's got a smoker for sale locally. It's called a Backwoods water smoker. It's like a charcoal cabinet smoker, and I Googled it or YouTubed it, and Malcolm Reed was recommending them like 10 years ago. You ever heard anything about them?
I've heard of Backwoods, but I don't remember much about them. Just I couldn't tell you much about it on memory, but I have heard of it.
what's up, Scotty?
Is it a
That's the one with underneath the cooking grate in the belly. It held water in there.
Yeah, you
Filled up and had a drain valve.
Yeah, you fill the water pan with water, and the cooking or the smoke box is completely sealed off from the cooking chamber, and then up the walls it's dual layered. The smoke comes up and then comes down, and the exit is all the way at the bottom, and then it comes back up the smokestack behind it. So everything that's in the chamber is getting smoke flavor on it. It's used for competition, from what I've read.
Yeah, I've heard of that. That's similar. The way you described it is to way my LSG mini, vertical insulated mini. But the only thing that stopped the firebox from being exposed actually was the water pan. It blocked it, but it was more like a heat deflector. But the way the smoke and all, the way you just said, that's similar to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't
asking-
think much about it.
Yeah, he's asking too much. I mean, he's not asking a lot because they're pretty expensive new, but more than I want to spend, so I'll probably pass on it.
How much is he wanting?
He's asking $750. I think they're about $2,400 new.
Okay.
But I think we were talking last week, and I don't love the charcoal smoke flavor when you're smoking.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
So I think I'll pass it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wynn's got that new gravity fed.
The old country gravity fed?
That's what
Yeah.
I keep hoping Chris will come out with. He kind of comes out with his own designs lately on things, but I wish he would do
Good night, Moose.
gravity fed smoker. Put his
He's
take
got
on
one.
it. Chris?
LSG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that new one just came out.
Oh, that's gravity? Okay. I didn't know that.
Which one, Lance?
Oh no. I'm wrong. That's the
El Fugo is the latest one he come out with, or whatever, however you say it.
I
El
don't think it
Fugo.
is. A
I don't
Fuego.
know. I haven't even watched a video on it. I have no idea how that thing works.
That's the
I
one
know
you can use for pellet, wood, charcoal. But the dedicated wood side we talked about last week, I just felt that the grate was a little small. But
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think
I don't need
LSG
no more
has.
smokers, man. I don't need no more smokers. I'm gonna keep that old hickory, and if I need to smoke something, that's gonna be my smoker. Once I'm finally done with this cooking channel,
I've been
But
looking for one of those, Russ, on Facebook.
have you? Yeah.
Yeah, they're out of my budget, way out of my budget.
Oh, they're expensive, man. I would not own one if they would not have sent it to me. Never, ever would
which
I
one?
have dropped that kind of money. Old hickory. That's really a lot of money. Good God, dude.
But if I find one for a good deal, I don't think I can pass
Oh
it
yeah,
up. So we'll see.
you never know. That stupid cat, man. I don't know what's wrong with her. I'm gonna mute myself again. Y'all carry on.
1,800.
Ooh, that's a lot too. That's more than I've ever spent on
That's
smokers.
brand new. That one Win just got a brand new one though. What used?
My most expensive smoker I bought is the offset smoker.
All right, I think she calmed down. I think she hears me in here talking. We used to have that calico that would go do that calico holler all the time. Now
Yeah.
this one's doing it. It's like, God. Tarina says she's in heat when she does it. And she will. She'll stop for, like a month at a time, then go right back into it. It's like,
Yeah.
you need to get her fixed or something. If you're going to keep her. Drives me nuts. There's no males in the house. So
Try to get over that stuff, Win. It's too much money. And when you get old, man, you gotta slow it down a little bit.
yeah, I was sitting there looking at Jeeps earlier on a marketplace, and I'm like, man, I'd love to buy another Jeep, but I don't want to take on a car note or anything like that. It's like, but that's the reason I'm gonna take this Ford Ranger. I'm just gonna put money in it as I can, and when I get it where I like it, I'll drive it till I can't drive it no more. It gives up the ghost.
That's why I'm doing that diesel. I can't afford to get a diesel.
It's hard to get finance too if you're, I'm on Social Security. I can't show employment, even though I get letters every freaking day. I got 2 checks sitting right here, and both of them are real checks. All I got to do is deposit them. One of them is for over 6,000. The other one is for 3 or 4,000. I'm like, I could buy a Jeep with that, but then I got to pay the loans back.
Yeah. I don't. The first
right here.
new car I bought was my wife's that we bought a couple of years ago. But my cars, I usually buy them fully depreciated and drive them for 5 years, and then when they die, sell them off and get another one.
There's one for $4,000 something dollars.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is deposit it. And then this other one down here, Mariner Finance. It's like I could probably get one financed through my bank, but I just don't want. Yeah, that one's for $6,000. That's over $10,000, man, right there. But I got to pay some loan back. I could buy a good Jeep for that.
14.
Old,
I never got that high.
I'm like, y'all quit sending these letters. That's too tempting.
Yeah.
Until you have to pay that first note back.
Now the older Jeeps, the 90s and early 2000s, those are pretty simple. You should get one of those, Russ.
Well, what I had when Katrina hit was a 1988 Jeep Cherokee. And I love that thing. I was telling Derek about it today because I've been looking at Jeeps. I love the way it handled. It just, man, I loved it. It had that straight six in it. And I bought it right there in Pascagoula, if Chris is still in there. And it had set up for, he said a year. I think it set up for a couple of years. And it had that old gas smell to it. And man, it wouldn't even hardly run. I put two injectors in it, two injectors, and I got it running like a top. I flushed out the entire fuel system, changed the fuel filter twice within a week, got all that sorted out. Then I put a brand new compressor on it, got the AC kicking butt, and I took that thing to Atlanta twice. And I hauled a car back with it on that last trip, a big old hoopty. That a girl I was dating, somebody gave her a car, and we hauled it back down here back then. And loved that thing. It had good wheels on it. And I sat right there when Katrina came and watched it go underwater.
Mm.
The windows were electric, and the windows were going up and down because salt water getting in it. And it's like, God
Right.
bless. There goes my Jeep. It needed a paint job, but it had no rust on it, and it just ran like a top, man. I was like, God, I want another one. Yeah, I don't want
41.
to. I won't. That was Jeep Corporation. That was prior to Chrysler, I think, if I remember right. It said Jeep Corporation on the tag. I said, man, I'd love to have that particular Jeep again, but if I'd be run, I mean, that's been 20 something years ago, since Katrina. What was that, 2005? It's going on 21 years this August. So it'd probably need a lot of work if I could find one.
Yeah, I had a couple of those Jeep Cherokees, the boxy ones.
Yeah.
They came out in the 80s. Mine were
Yeah,
in the
they're kind
90s.
of ugly looking, like the
straight
Wagoneer
six.
and all that. They're kind of ugly, but I love the way it drove. I just got hooked on it. Just like, man, I love this Jeep.
They gone up in value now, though. There's not many of them left. People drove them into the ground.
Yeah, the ones I could find today were expensive. It's like, dang, I don't pay that much for it. I
You
paid
used to be able to pick them
$1,500
up for a
mine,
couple
and
grand, and now they're expensive.
every now and then you might find somebody that don't know what they have or whatever, and you can get things at a good buy, but it's far and few in between. Most people want more than what it's worth. Well, that's what they'll throw out there. I don't even bother
Well, it's
contacting them.
better. Even if you overpay a little bit, it's better than buying a new car because
Oh, absolutely.
whatever it needs, it's still cheaper than the
Yeah.
loan on a new car.
I don't want no new Jeeps. They're already getting a bad reputation, like the General Motor trucks. I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
the new ones are junk.
Yeah, they are. I really don't even want a Chrysler Jeep at all. If I had one, I want it to be old, like that one or older,
Yep.
but still with a good body. You can always get you know, rebuild an engine or whatever, but that body, that's what's hard to come by, depending on where it comes from, if it's still in good shape or not.
Yep.
But I never will probably get this old Ranger going. I mean, we got a really good car. It's just we got to keep it good. It's still real low miles.
Yeah, car and truck. I got to tell you, I would like to have a Jeep myself, but
I would.
I can't go out and buy nothing like that.
Yeah. I like that one that was sitting here the other day, other than getting in and out of it. That was a chore. But as far as the looks of it and all, like, man, it was a manual transmission, which I would probably prefer that at least. That's a big problem with most of the stuff you buy nowadays, including even that 2001 Ford Ranger I got. I went to Chat GPT to see what some known issues are with it, and they said transmission problems. 18% of people have reported like transmission issues at some point over 150,000 miles or something like that.
What
My
kind of engine?
granddaughter, my granddaughter goes for her driver's license test tomorrow. That's her car, first car,
What is that? A Jeep Compass?
Jeep Patriot.
Patriot?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've seen some of them today too. Yeah. It's hard to even know it's a Jeep until you look at the front end. It still kind of has that Jeep look to it,
I still drive a '05 Toyota 4Runner, 300,000 miles on it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Toyotas.
She paid up. She's worked at Chick-fil-A MBL, or Chris rather, and saved up for it. It needed a lot of work. They just put a transfer case in it. Transfer case was broken, and brakes. I think that's it. But it
We
was
bought
clean.
that. I bought that 2019 Toyota Corolla. Tarina drives it mainly, but it had just over 40,000 miles now, and we've had it for 5 years. It's like wow, that thing will last us for years to come as long as there's no incidents. Knock on wood.
Can't believe she's already going for driver test tomorrow. Damn, I was just holding her not that long ago.
Yeah, that
Lance,
is good.
don't be saying stuff like that. I'm already going through a midlife crisis.
Man, I tell you
Yeah.
what, Greg, it flies by, dude. I mean, that's no shit. I can sit here. I remember jumping on a trampoline with her, or putting the trampoline together. Just getting her pictures taken with a bunch of pumpkins on the front porch around her. I mean, it just seems like it was yesterday. She couldn't even walk then, but with the pumpkins, not the trampoline. But
I was thinking about it today. My granddaughter, my oldest one, she's 22 now, and I remember when she was just like, the night she was born and stuff like that, me having a babysitter and stuff when Derek was off on the shrimp boats working and stuff. Now she's full grown woman. Went by in a hurry.
yeah, yeah, Google, don't blink, buddy.
Yeah,
Trying to take it in day by day.
That's it.
that's why you do it because she'll be graduating before you know it.
Yep, the children,
You might remember
can
this.
be your priorities because they won't be.
AJS, I remember being on that live with them two old men. They passed away a few years ago, but I remember them. I remember them saying that she'd be graduating before you
Yeah,
even know it.
he'll be saying the same story to the next group.
Yeah,
Because when they get older, you don't see them as much.
Yeah, that's true.
They got other interests. That's why it's so important to enjoy it while they're young. Do
Well,
whatever you can with them.
what's cool is I can always, as long as you don't take these videos down, I can always come back and look at these conversations.
yeah, that's right. I can remember going to every ball game my boys had in Dixie Youth Baseball, and I loved it because I would sit up in the little bleachers there, little wood bleachers on the outside of the field, all fenced in, and they sold hot dogs and hamburgers and Cokes and stuff. And every time I'd get me a burger and a Coke and some fries and sit there and watch some old boys play.
Yeah,
Looking back on that, my boys are in their 40s now. It's like, golly, how did that much time go by?
yeah,
Went by in a freaking hurry.
yep. She used to ride horses. She would show horses. Then it was cheerleading. Actually, it's horses and cheerleading. Then it went into girls softball, like you said, hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
They used to have these Cajun boiled peanuts I used to get at them games too every time. I don't know who boiled them, but they were good. But I enjoyed them days. I was a pipe welder, and a lot of guys, they hit the road and they follow that money. And I wouldn't do it. I tried it, and I'm like, I'm not being away from my kids. I'm gonna miss them growing up. It's I want to be there, and I did.
Don. Since you got both of you here, how did that hush puppy? Did you do anything of that hush puppy recipe? That guy up here beside me on the top, it was his recipe. I asked him if I'd give it to you, and he said no problem. But I was curious if you ever got it together. Yeah, with this war that went on, our diesel jumped from is over almost $5 a gallon.
Wow.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
I don't really pay attention to gas prices too much, but Tarina does because she's the one that's going to work every day, and she's the one that fills the car up when it needs it and stuff like that. But I do know that she paid over $3 a gallon right behind us here at this Indian store. But where we buy gas for our car is at Murphy's, and it's way cheaper. Last time I looked, it was like $1.79 a gallon, but I think it went up 60 cents because I told her, I texted her at work, I said, you better put gas in the car before it goes up because of this war thing going on. And it went up 60 cents in one day, right when I said that. And she went ahead and filled up. A little car, man, it's great on gas mileage. That's one thing good about it.
It's got great guns at the shop. This is the guy, the hush puppy recipe in the UK. I sent in the UK for you.
Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty good hush puppies. A lot of these you get like at restaurants, they're kind of hard and dense and heavy. These are real light and flaky, but crispy on the outside. Kind of got a light crisp, but they're really tender and airy. That's what I like about them. It's one of my ex-wife's recipes that she gave me. When I make them, that's the one I make. He might
Yeah,
not be able to find that Jiffy cornbread mix or whatever in that little box. That's what I use. That's what the recipe
yeah,
calls for.
I'm quite
Yeah.
sure.
Him being over there, I doubt they got that brand, but there again, maybe they do.
Also worked out a very handsome bread and butter pickle jalapeno recipe. Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the thing about
that
them hush
sounds
puppies
good.
too. Now you can add whatever you want in there if you want to put. I think the one I gave you had green onions, but you can put little bits of jalapeno. You could put cream corn in it. Just whatever you want to add to them, or you can just have them without anything. They're a
Yeah.
good side for fried fish. Oh, speaking of that, we went. Tarina's been having a taste for raw oysters lately. So we went to a place called McElroy's. It's right on the beach. It's on stilts and it overhangs the water right there where the one of the marinas is. And I ordered a dozen oysters. She ordered a dozen oysters. And the guy, our waiter, he was talking about the special they had. It was triple tail. You know what I'm talking about? That old
Yeah.
prehistoric looking
Yeah.
saltwater fish.
Hmm.
And it was a triple tail platter for $25. And I'm like, man, because I haven't had triple tail many times because it's a hard, elusive fish to catch. One thing. But anyway, I ordered it, and it was two big fillets like that. I really stuffed myself between a dozen oysters and just one of them fillets. I should have stopped. And I was sitting there thinking, I said, boy, what'd be good is get like a real soft burger bun and
Yep.
take one of those. You could probably make one, two, three, four. You could have made six sandwiches out of them two slabs of meat
Yeah.
right, and dress them up, with tartar sauce or whatever you like. That would have made good fish sandwiches.
Perch running really good right now, and huge fish. And I got fried perch, four fried perch, about a week and a half ago, and it was so good. I went back Tuesday this week and got a perch sandwich, like you said, just
Yeah,
soft
buddy.
hamburger rolls.
Yeah, man.
Mm.
Soft bun. Yeah, but we'll go back. I didn't know they had triple tail there. That's pretty good. I hate going into a seafood restaurant and the only fish they got on the menu is catfish. That's
Yeah.
freshwater. I can't
Yeah,
stand that. I mean, serve me a speckled trout, a mahi if I want it. Just have a variety, and this place does. That's one thing good about Biloxi. That they're at one time back in the 40s, we were the seafood capital of the world, and it's still a big seafood place. But some of the best seafood restaurants you'll eat at are right here.
mm,
But we don't go that often. Maybe twice a year we get a taste for it. But we wanted to get some oysters before they go out of season.
or do y'all
Yes.
have a catch season with the kind of
Oyster?
store?
Yes, because of water temperatures. But like I said, this Deer Island Oyster Company, whatever it's called, they're farming them right here. Really good oysters. I think theirs are available year round. Don't quote me on that, but I want to
They're
do that
still,
on my next video while they're still available. Get a little small sack, shuck
yeah,
them and charbroil them
I
or
like
grill 'em.
cod. I like cod a lot. I do enjoy codfish, but perch is still number one for me. But um, what was I going to say? They had damn it, son. Oh, the oysters. So around here, they can only oyster months with R's in it,
Yeah,
like
they go
December.
by water temperature here because of bacteria growth and things like that. But it's pretty much every month with cool months or whatever, but not necessarily. And if we have a big influx of flood waters that come into the Gulf, like through the Mississippi River or whatever, if there's too much fresh water, they'll shut it down.
Yeah,
Salinity's got to be right, temperature. I don't know what all they look at, but yeah, they can shut it down anytime. But a
yeah.
lot of these, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say the cod. There used to be a place right here called Chesapeake Seafood House. They had a cod that was just out of this world, man. I love cod, good cod.
Two fillet of fish for. I would buy that actually. I like McDonald's fillet of fish better than nothing. It ain't like that triple tail I had, but hey, in a bind, I'd eat it. They put a slice of cheese on their fish sandwiches. Little square
Lance
fish. I
is
ain't
the.
figured out what kind of fish that is.
I think they use Alaskan pollock.
McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've read that somewhere. It ain't bad.
No, it's
Burger
pretty good. They
King,
steam
same
the
way.
bun. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it ain't bad. But the one
Lance, what
at
kind of
Burger King, they call it the Whaler. I think I used to buy them. They were bigger.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just appeal to me more than a hamburger. It's just like give me one of them Whalers.
What's that, Guggen?
what's closest to you, the Chesapeake Bay or the Potomac River?
I'm like sort of kind of smack in the middle of all of it.
Are
I got
they
Potomac,
both?
Potomac
Are
on
they
one side,
saltwater?
Patuxent on the other side, and the bay is south of me.
Are they
Chesapeake River.
saltwater or freshwater?
Chesapeake Bay is like a brackish, I think, if I remember correctly. But the Patuxent and the Potomac are freshwater. But
The
you don't
Potomac
want
is the
the
one
freshwater. What's that?
George
So,
Washington crossed that. The Potomac or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah. That's the one where they just had millions and millions of broken pipe, millions and millions of gallons of raw sewage just dumped in the Potomac about a month
Dang,
ago.
that's a shame.
Destroyed it. Destroyed it. Last I heard 2 weeks ago, 72 miles. It had already
Somebody should
traveled
be held accountable for
72
that crap.
miles.
Mm,
Yeah, it's nasty.
yeah, that's a shame.
But that's, more of that infrastructure stuff, that stuff should have been looked at before long, beforehand. You
So I'm
got a
saying
sewer line,
somebody
you got a sewer
that's got to
line
be
near the
somebody's
border.
job to do that.
Yeah.
And they're
But
not doing their job.
if you got a sewer line that's near a body of water like the Potomac River, that should always be monitored. Always be monitored. Christ, they won't let you build a house down here anymore that's a certain amount of feet off the river, like 300 feet. Can't be anything closer than 300 feet from the shoreline.
Yeah. Where's
And
the
that's
water
your
treatment
septic.
plants at?
We're
Or do you
septic.
know? Oh, septic systems. Okay.
And now you can't do everything has to be above ground septics.
Well, the
Can't
ones
do
that
underground.
the bayous like over there east of Pascagoula, they had they were forced to put in those rock and reed type septic systems instead of the old school type to prevent all that seepage and stuff. That
Yeah.
was years ago.
The ones they put now in above ground, I can't nitrogen systems, I think they're called, where they have basically a tank, sediment tank, pre-tank, filtered, and then to where they say time it hits a third, it's actually considered fresh water. I'm like, yeah, good. Go ahead, you first.
Yeah, for real. Mm-mm-mm.
So, any good fish in the Chesapeake you can catch?
Oh yeah, stripers. They're talking about now. They're actually putting money into another trout hatchery. Our trout's coming back around big time. So
What
yeah, but
kind of
there's
trout?
just rainbow trout, brown trout.
Oh, okay. In the Chesapeake?
No, in the rivers around here and
Okay, freshwater.
tributaries and
Okay,
stuff. Yeah,
I got you.
but there's you got bluefish, you got stripers, rock, whatever you know them as, uh, sea bass. I mean, there's a lot of fish in here.
You need to do
Do you
some
know
catch and
marine
cooks, man.
science? Yes, I do, Rack. As a matter of fact, the mother just died maybe a year ago, but you can't get a seat near that place. That diner's so good.
Do y'all have any speckled trout where you're at? Like they call them spotted sea bat or sea trout or spotted sea something. Is we call it speckled trout. They're not even a trout. They're really in the drum family.
I don't think so, but I'm not positive of that.
Oh, that's one of my favorite fish to eat. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, AJ?
Oh yeah,
Speckled trout. Yeah,
oh yeah. I've caught a lot and eaten a lot.
yeah. I got to catch them big yellow mouths, man.
Mm-hmm.
If
Like
you ever get a
yellow,
chance,
orange.
Lance, go to my channel and type in speckled trout fishing or something like that, and look for the one where I'm over in New Orleans, between New Orleans and Slidell. There's a train trestle there, and we were trolling. And look at the size of these speckled trout we caught. We filled this huge ice chest up. What was it? Hour and a half, 2 hours. And the smallest one was 19 inches. They were averaging 22, 23 inches. That was, I've never seen nothing like it. It was unreal that day. Yeah. But you'll know what kind of fish I'm talking about. But that's a sought after fish here. But over there, they got a better limit. You know, you can keep, I think it's still like this. I'm not positive. But at that time, you could keep 25 per person. And so
Yeah.
we maxed out 100 trout, you know. And
I think what else, Guggen? I think there's a croaker.
Yeah,
yeah,
I want to see some catch and cooks, man.
I thought about, the other day, I was just thinking about the Sleeper Adventures. I was so gung ho on that, but, I just can't stay focused on one hobby anymore, it seems like.
I would put since this channel is your main focus, and you do have gills as part of your thing, even though it's aquariums. But a lot of people don't know that you could do a fish, catch, clean, cook type video. Some of them do
Yeah.
pretty good, especially over time, and then put
Yeah,
it on the channel. That's where I'd be putting it because it's more established than the other one. It
yeah,
would have more of a chance of helping this channel out.
yeah.
But show catching
I
them, then
find,
come home and show how you prep them up, prepare them, and cook them.
yeah, I find that when
I've
I'm
done
going to
a
go visit,
handful of them. Huh?
sorry, I
What?
didn't mean to overtalk you.
No. I was
I'm
done.
saying when I'm like going to a new area to vacation and fish, I'm looking for people who are fishing in that area on YouTube. So I start
Right.
following, all these new people I wasn't following before. So if Lance, for example, you start doing catch and cooks and somebody wants to go on vacation up there, they're going to specifically look for St. Mary's County or wherever you're fishing and then start watching all your fishing videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I agree. When that one camping video I did, that was supposed to be a catch and cook, and luckily I just prepared because I'd heard enough that the fish really wasn't doing all that well that I stopped at the store and I bought some perch already clean and packaged, and I put them on ice just in case I didn't catch anything. And I'm glad I did because we didn't catch nothing all night long. Not even a bite. I did cook in that Big Joe. I cooked the fish out on a riverside. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
I've got a video where you don't see Derek because he was in another kayak with the cameras, but I'm in a kayak and catching speckled trout and everything. And that was probably the first successful catch, clean, cook video I did because we had done been there I don't know how many times and they just wasn't biting. And finally
Yeah.
that morning we picked it. There they were, and I was catching them pretty regular, But that one over in Louisiana, oh my God, dude, is like every time you there were mirror lures that had the bill where they dive down, one pole here and one pole here. Derek was on one and his son was on another, and they were just pulling them in one after another,
Yeah.
And he was making a big oval shape. He'd come right down on the train trestles. That's when they would catch them. And as soon as they get him in the boat, he would turn around and go right back where he started from. We just kept trolling like that, and he had that speed just right. It's like I've never seen nothing like it. That was a really memorable day. I'll never forget it, and it's documented. That's the cool thing.
Rack's got a catch and clean cook video out.
Oh, okay.
Rack, how do you know about Marie's?
I'm gonna grab a beer. So you got to put your truck back together tomorrow, huh? Finish putting it together.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm sitting there. I'm half tempted to go out there and mess with it tonight. Put my shoes back on.
Yeah.
It's still 62 degrees. Man, I haven't seen weather like this in months. It'd be the 30s or 20s right now. It had the wood stove going.
We've been in regular spring, almost feels like summer some days.
Yeah, it's been hot and humid and lots of thunderstorms here lately, which is better than cold, I guess.
Yeah, it is to me. Heck yeah.
As long as you don't get hit in one.
Is that Tennessee catch and cook? Oh, okay. Looked at the map between the rivers. Yep. Wacomico, did you see the Wacomico River in there too? Yeah, Marie's is a big. Everybody tries to get into Marie's. That old lady, she could cook up a storm, but the daughter's taking over now with mom's recipes. But the mother passed away. It might have been 2 years ago, but I stopped trying to get in there. You just couldn't get near the door.
I love Spanish mackerel. My mom used to take Spanish mackerel, and we had a gas stove and oven, and it had that broiler at the bottom, and she would lay them things open like butterfly, and she'd put butter and lemon, season them, and base that butter and lemon on them, put them on that broiler, and get them just perfect. God, it was so good.
Yeah,
I used to love them.
Yeah, I love Spanish, man.
Huh?
I said I love Spanish. They're good.
Yeah, man. I'd rather have them over king mackerel any day.
Yeah, I'm south of that actually, Rack. I'm closer to. Well, I'm not close to the bay. I am close to the bay, but closer to like Solomon's Island. That'd be a good landmark. Calvert County, St. Mary's County.
We used to skin those mackerel like catfish. Pull that skin off of them.
I don't mind bluefish either if you bleed them and eat them the same day. They're not bad.
Yeah, you can't eat dark meat out of that.
I don't think I've ever tried a bluefish, but I have heard people say that.
Yeah,
You talk about croaker. I was in my 40s, first time I ever ate a croaker. When I was growing up, if my dad and mom called a croaker, they'd throw it back, and they called it trash fish. And
I was just going to say they call it trash fish, but damn, croaker is some good fish. A little oily.
Croaker is actually in the same family as the redfish. It's a drum, and it's like once I finally did eat one, I'm like, well, damn, I was sitting there thinking about all of them we threw back.
Yeah.
They were just as good as the ones we were keeping, the white trout and the speckled trout. I'm like, I'd eat that just as easy.
What about the black drum, Russ? You all eat those? I know I've heard they get worms, but a lot of
Well,
people are
they
starting
get
to eat them now.
worms, especially if they get any size to them. If you go on,
Hmm.
if you can get a smaller one, they're good to eat. It's just I don't know what it is. Of course, redfish can get worms in them too if they get any size to them. Like those big bull reds.
Oh yeah.
But that just disgusts me. I'll never forget. Derek caught one that actually broke a state record, but we never had nobody come and verify it. And I filleted it in the dark over there at ET's house. We hung it up like a deer, and I'm sitting there going down that backbone, big, huge fillets. And finally got that meat back to the house and got to looking with some light and it looked like spaghetti noodles running all through it. I'm
Ugh.
like, oh God, I threw that crap away. Parasites just ate up with it. And I said, there ain't no way I'm eating that. Sorry, dude. Nice fish, but disgusting.
Yep.
No, we don't fish for them. And, after that, I doubt I'd even keep one. Now, I'll tell you something that surprised me back. This is many years ago when I was like 18, 19, 20. We used to scuba dive and we'd go to these reefs and we had these little bandito pistols. They were little small spear guns. They had two rubbers on them. And man, my buddy, he owned a shrimp boat, a little bay boat, and we would pull the tri net and we'd catch fresh shrimp, to carry back home. This is just for us to eat. We'd run that little boat out there, and we had this one wreck. It was an old barge that was sunk. He knew exactly where it was because he had all these charts and everything. And we would anchor off and we'd dive that barge and we'd shoot angel fish, the little black and white
Hmm.
spade fish,
Oh
what
yeah.
angel fish. And we broiled them kind of like I was describing broiling the Spanish mackerel. Man, that was fine eating fish. I'm like, holy smokes. You'd never think about eating something like that, because it's
Yeah.
not really something you go after. But the shrimp was so fresh, they were literally jumping out of the pot when I was trying to boil them. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
you don't get no better than this. Give me a beer. Good old days there. Right there. Great memories.
Yeah, that was a blast. I love
Yeah.
being able to go shrimping.
We used to do that quite often, man. It's just like really don't get no better than that. I mean, we didn't have no money or nothing. Now he did have that boat. That's how he made his living. He's still a shrimper. He's trying to retire now. He's a couple years younger than me, but not much. 2 years, I think. He's 65, and we were just teenagers, barely. Well, we was probably about 18, 19, somewhere in there, maybe 20.
Yeah, I'm going on a trip to Long. I think it's called Longboat Key. It's near Tampa. Yeah, going on
Okay.
a fishing trip there, so that should be pretty fun. I haven't been
Oh
that
yeah,
far
man,
south.
absolutely. Charter boat.
My brother lives down there. He's got a nice center console boat and
Okay.
renting a place that's on the water. So,
Oh
yeah,
man,
nonstop fishing.
heck yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
great.
can't beat that.
Heck yeah.
Taking the babies with you?
Yep, unfortunately.
Are you really? Your wife going?
Yeah, well, yeah, the whole family. My parents are
Oh,
going,
okay.
and sister and brother. Everybody's going to be there.
There'll be plenty of help with the kids anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
hopefully there's
they
yeah.
they do those family vacations once a year, which is great. I think
Oh yeah, man, do it while you can, and
with
while
the whole
everybody's
family.
still good and healthy. Heck yeah, that's how you make memories. Because when it's
Yeah,
Oh
all
yeah.
said and done, that's all you got left is good memories. And you reflect back on them many times.
I hear that's what kids, when they look back through their memories, that's what they remember the most is vacations and getting together with family. They're not remembering
Yeah,
toys or gifts or whatever.
you're
yeah,
absolutely right. I can remember every vacation my dad and mother took us on. Most of them were in Florida until we got a little older, and then all of a sudden my dad shifted gears, and every time is up in the Smoky Mountains. But just great memories of all that.
Oh
They're
yeah.
just as vivid now as they was then.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I can make some catch and cooks. I wanted to do a snook video, if you guys are familiar with snook, but
But,
the
yeah.
season ends at the end of May, and unfortunately, is the end of May? No, it's the end of April, and I'm going the first week of May, so I can catch and release, but I can't keep.
I got you. I was reading that. I was reading that comment about that peacock bass. I remember watching deer meat for dinner. Catch those on certain episodes. Real colorful
Yeah,
looking fish.
yeah, I've seen that too. Those look like they're fun to catch.
Yeah.
And I think so. Longboat Key. I think it's the same island, Santa Maria Island. I don't know. It's the island that got taken out during the hurricane a couple of years ago. They were cut off, if you remember that, but they were able
Yeah.
to get it back together pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, they do kind of rebuild everything back quick in Florida because they get bombarded so often, They go so many years without it, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 back to back storms, Same thing
I'd
here.
love to. Yeah, I'd
We're
love to live down
overdue,
there.
really. We haven't had a severe, like, bad hurricane since Katrina, and that was going on 21 years ago. So we've had a few storms since then, like Hurricane Zeta. They come through here, but wasn't nothing compared to Katrina or Camille or Frederick or Elena or any of those. Maybe we get by another year. It was actually real
Hopefully.
slow this past year.
Yeah, it was, which was good.
Yeah, real good.
We needed a break for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The only person I've heard kind of complain about not having a storm is a couple that lives up in Wiggins, Mississippi, not too far from me actually, and they said we got a lot the water table, the lack of rain because we haven't had the storms that produces a lot of rain like that. They got ponds on their property, and they said the ponds still we can't get enough rain to get them back up where they're supposed to be. Without storms like that coming in and really just drenching the place down. But that's the only person I ever heard complain about not getting a hurricane. I'm like, shut your mouth.
Yeah, we're in a pretty good drought right now up here in Georgia, North Georgia, in our Lake Lanier, which is our big lake. I think the biggest freshwater lake here. It's pretty low right now.
They had a water problem there near Atlanta and stuff. I remember it's been a few years back now, but that was the kind of prices there for a while. Like,
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? I mean, it's been, I don't know, it might have been 10 years ago or better. I don't know. But it was
bad.
Everything dried up.
Beard, and body. That's a new one on me. Is it true that only barbecue happens in the South? Well, depends on who you talk to, but no, it's not 100% true. But people in the South and Texas and all that swear they have the best barbecue, but
I mean, the best
from
barbecue
the
happens
all the way through Texas and all the way up. I got a good friend up in Wisconsin, and they got barbecue up there. Now, it might have originated in the South or East or wherever. I don't know exactly, but no, it's not just in the South. Not anymore.
Yeah, I always say the best barbecue is in your backyard.
Yeah, that's right.
it's true.
Those
Texans was one of my. I'm sorry, Goon, go ahead.
I was gonna say those Texans are elitists. They're gatekeepers. They got so many rules.
That was going to be one of my questions for Dutch tonight. If we had that guest up here, I was going to ask him. I mean, to be honest, was the backyard cook just as good as competition cook? But
I think
it is.
In my opinion, I've never had competition food, but like you were saying earlier, it's so one bite, you got to pack as much flavor. I think backyard is better.
Yeah,
and I think backyard's better than a restaurant too, because when you're cooking for the masses, you can't dedicate as much time into that meat.
Right.
So that's my opinion, but
no, I agree. Totally agree. Totally agree.
I'm not saying restaurants and stuff don't take pride in what they're cooking, but they've got to keep it going.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got to keep it going.
That's like the Shed. They got notoriety on the cooking channel, the Food Network, and all that years ago. And Guy Fieri did a thing with them and all that, and put them on the map. And a lot of people's heard of them, but I've only eaten there one time, and I'm here to tell you, I'm sitting there eating this, and I told Tarina I was there with a guy that paid for it and invited me, was trying to, and there was a guy that owned the company, a seasoning company here locally, and he was trying to wheel and deal a deal with me and this guy to where, and he was going to be like a middleman. It never worked out, but anyway, I was not impressed with the barbecue. It's not that it was bad. I'm not going to say it was bad. It was just like, I'm eating this. I'm like, golly, I do better than this in my backyard with my cookers,
Yeah,
and it was true. And it's
yeah.
like, what's all the rave about? You know, it's
I mean, that's
definitely,
sort of. I haven't tried it, so it's really unfair for me to even say this, but I mean, I just have a vision of competition cook where it's just a bunch of flavors that are drowning out the actual protein flavor. And like you were saying earlier, that's sweetened up, or it's got a little bite to it, whatever it's got, but you're just tasting all the flavors that have been put it into it
yeah.
instead of the natural protein flavor.
Some of
But
the
I can
best,
do.
some of the best ribs I ever had, and it wasn't me, in my opinion, is like when Jennifer lived here. She's just sitting there and she goes, "Oh my God, these are so good." But it was actually pit barrel cooker ribs, unsauced, just dry ribs. And what I did do is I had how did I do that? I used bourbon and apple juice, and I spritzed them with it pretty
Mhm.
regular. And man, they were so good. And it's like that little drum smoker really did a number on them. I'll never forget that. And it's like it didn't mask a flavor; it just really enhanced it. Something about the essence of the bourbon, coming out with the apple juice. It wasn't like a heavy, rich sauce that's too rich to eat after two or three bites. You wanted to eat more of this, and the pork just shined through. So, you know, I don't know what my point was with that. I guess, backyard can be so much better than competition, I reckon.
I really think so. I don't even want to say, because again, it's not fair to say, but I'd hate to even say that there's a little bit more pride, put into trying to get the YouTube to come up
Well,
so I can.
I haven't watched Chud in a long time, but back when I did watch him, he always would even say that about competition. I don't do competition. That's not cooked to where you enjoy it. That's cooked for judges, one bite. He was saying the same thing.
Right.
I do remember that.
Lance, you gonna get into the competition barbecue? Is that why you're
Yeah, good.
asking, or are you just curious?
No, I was asked by another channel member, asked me
Oh,
if
okay.
I'd ever had um, uh, competition food, and I was like, no, I really haven't.
Well, you should
And
become a judge at your local barbecue contest at least once.
well, it's weird we're sitting here talking about this because this was almost my suggestion to 805 because he's talking about wanting to get into doing more reviews and stuff. I said, well, you know what? I said, personally, if it was me and I was getting into all that, I would want to have some type of a background, some type of certificate, something, So if I go in there and I'm rating uh, Russ's ribs, then I want to, be able to go to 805's channel and see this review and say, well, who's this guy? And at least be able to say, he's attended, you know, competition barbecue judging class of some type. There's something in there, some type of a credential that sort of kind of gave him a little bit of a right to give someone a tweak or not a tweak, but an opinion of their cook, but of the
Yeah.
restaurant.
I went up to Memphis in May and watched all them guys and ate some of the food and stuff like that. And I actually cooked at the shed with Brian Ducharme. These are competition ribs we did. They were beautiful. I still got pictures of them somewhere, but I remember exactly what went on them ribs. And it was sauces I like, but man, did we pour it on. Even had a spicy honey, and it's like by the time you bite into it, they were delicious, but you couldn't eat much of it because it's competition. It's made for that one bite. One bite you'd be like, oh man. But I don't know if you could eat more than one rib, but like, okay, that's good. That's too rich.
Right, right, and that's a lot of the stuff that I was hearing before is that it's just super rich food.
I'm sure it tastes great, but it's just too much of a good thing, I reckon, is one way of putting it. As far as that goes. But they did them whole hogs and stuff. That was their big event, like at Memphis in May, and I never got to taste none of that. But I don't know if it's really juiced up with all the flavor and all like we did ribs or not. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. They didn't win. I know that much.
I wish they had a backyard series. Like it doesn't have to be this competition specialty, like on a bed of kale or whatever the greenery is.
Yeah.
And, it's just like judging based on how good of a cook it is, not all these flavors. I don't know.
Right. Or appearance or anything, just
Right.
the best tasting. That's what I would like. Yeah.
But I guess since it's still a one bite challenge, you got to doctor it up. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd like to see that a barbecue competition come back to YouTube again. I think that'd be a blast. But there's just, I don't know. There's just too many ways to beat the system. With that internet and stuff like that.
That's not a very fair fight right there.
Yeah.
It's the popular guy wins.
Yeah.
Nobody
won that thing.
Nobody can even taste it other than it's all on video.
Yeah, no, true. And then it just somehow or another have an impartial judge. Even that's tough, I don't know. But that would be fun. I really enjoyed that. That was fun.
I do know one thing, and Kent can probably verify this. If you're in a competition competition barbecue, you better have some money because that ain't cheap to follow those events and travel and do all that stuff, man.
What's up, Joe? You must have been ears must have been burning.
That's
Burn
one thing
alert.
that stopped me. What's up, Joe?
So soon you popped in just at the right time because it was just seconds ago we were talking about you.
Oh, he heard it. He'd been in here.
Had you thought about any more thought about doing what's that be the fourth YouTube cookers, about the fourth
Pitmasters of YouTube.
Pitmasters of YouTube barbecue cook-off number 4, whatever it is. But I think he's just
when did you get out?
I think he's just too busy to even think about forming anything like that. I imagine it had been a lot of work. But.
Yeah.
Man, I missed all that. That was right before I started my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's been a few years back.
Yeah.
Probably about 3 or 4 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Probably longer than that. It's probably been about 5 years.
Man.
I was
These
playing.
years just flying by, man. I swear. Golly.
I think everybody pretty much knows that YouTube YouTube unmonetized 805. So I was playing his videos on this laptop I use over here beside me for my shipping service. And he had like a group of videos you could play for like his playlist type thing. And what's on there is but that damn YouTube barbecue cook-off thing. And I had to sit here and watch that thing all over again, get my ass beat all over again. I said, son of a bitch. He says he's only 300 hours away now. Catch it back up.
Wow, that's awesome.
what would be fun, but would probably never happen because of just so many restrictions on different people having the money to do it and or having the time off to do it or whatever. But a real actual meet and greet type competition where people are actually, you have real judges and that would be fun. But
Yeah.
I would fit in that category where I couldn't even show up unless it was here in Biloxi because you know Serena works every day and I don't know. I might could pull it off. I went to Wisconsin twice, so maybe so.
But the long shot rattlesnake didn't win.
I had the pleasure of judging a barbecue contest outside of Kansas City, Missouri, back in the mid '80s. Did not win.
Yeah, I was just thinking about Smoking Joe the other day because this AI stuff is pretty scary. It's going to probably take most of the tech jobs away, which I'm in. I'm like, what can I fall back on? Probably not barbecue, but maybe I could sell just pulled pork sandwiches or something.
Learn how to pipe well. They're needing them everywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something, man. They're saying in 5 years, tech jobs are done.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to see a robot crawl in one of them cofferdams on a U.S. Navy ship and try to make one of them pipe wells standing on his head looking through 4 different mirrors.
I know it sounds crazy, but it's coming, Russ. They're making
I know.
humanoid robots.
They'll figure ways around it. AI will figure a way to do it.
Yeah.
And tell that robot to do this.
So even blue collar isn't safe. Even if you they don't have robots to do that work yet. If they don't have anybody else working, nobody's going to be able to pay to.
Well, here's the problem I see with all that. If they're depending on AI and robots and the workforce just disappears and nobody can make a living, they got to sell a product. Who's going to buy this stuff? Because everybody's going to be completely broke and desolate.
Right.
It's like
I don't understand it.
Creating their own end.
Yeah, I really don't know what the end game is.
I don't either. It don't make a lot of sense to me.
Up NDT.
I tell you what, it gets downright scary. I'm getting to where now I'm starting to get an eye for. There's 2 channels so far that I subscribe to that are news related, and I got to look, and one of them is this woman, and I got to looking at her facial expressions, and something didn't look right. Then I noticed I started backing up her video. She's always wearing the same shirt, same everything. I said, that's freaking AI I'm watching. So I unsubscribed, and last night day or 2 ago, I was watching a dude, same thing. I'm like, all this is AI. They're taking over YouTube,
Yep.
It's just like, I'm glad I'm getting out while I can,
All right, Don, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I won't bring down the mood, but it's something I'm worried about, especially for my kids.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy.
All right, gents, I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug. We made 3 hours this time.
Oh, Lord, it's already 9 o'clock. That was a fast hour.
I'm on that. There's one of your neighbors, Budget, NDT show. He's Tennessee boy. There's a link to his trout video.
All right, guys. I'm out of here.
We're going to see y'all later on. Thank you all coming, and we'll see you again next week. Appreciate you.
Night, guys.
See you.